Hopefully we don't have any issues. It looks like it's fine. Yeah, it's just something with the way that it's rendering on the other program. Yeah, this one's smooth sailing. I'm just not going to use that other program anymore. All right. We're good. Yeah, it's dude, this older program that I'm using, I'm just going to go right back to using this. That's what we're going to do. All right. The thing I liked about the other one is that it can like stream to multiple wides, but I haven't even been using it. So yeah, I think if I'm going to stream to wides, I'll use a restream service and then I'll just do all my verticals rendered here from this program. I think I've got it figured out. All right, guys, I think we're good to go. Finally, apologies for the issues. Sorry, there's like 3 or 4 alerts you guys got for my stream. Yeah, way better. Just the regular, everything is just better. That other program is trash. Okay, never using that again. Understood. All right, cool. Well, growing pains, you know what I'm saying? Growing pains. All right, I'm just gonna hang out and wait for everyone to see if anybody shows up this time. Jesus. I'm gonna clean my desk. That's what I'm gonna do. Go full screen for Twitch. See how dirty my desk is. This is pizza box from yesterday. I have my drink from yesterday right here. A couple of them. I'm gonna throw these away and clean up my fucking desk. Stop being a slob, you know? All right. Not sure if the audio popping out is a me thing or not. That's what the person just said. Not sure if the audio popping out is a me thing or not. There's no popping? Okay. I mean, that's why I'm like, hey, can you check? You know, because he's saying he's hearing it. Is anyone else here popping? Is it only Aussie Viking? I once trashed my desk, then after I upgraded everything, decided to never do that again. Yeah, bro, I felt like doing that here earlier, but I just immediately, I went, fuck! And then I went and took a shit, and then I came back. I probably should have taken a pre-stream shit. You don't hear any popping? Thank you. Brittany's not hearing popping. Aussie, you still hearing popping? No popping for Swift? Yeah, so then after I took my Swift, I came back and I'm like, I locked in. I'm like, okay, I know of another solution to achieve what I'm trying to achieve. It's an older one. We're going to get rid of the upgraded one and go back to the older one. That it's a lot more simple and it just fucking works. And I'm looking at my stats right now. We are smooth sailing. There are no issues. Yeah, that other program was just way too buggy and I'll probably never use it again. Sorry, I should elaborate. I think it's only on the end of your speaking. Okay, are you hearing popping on my mic when I talk? I do have some mic popping issues that I am worried or I'm trying to resolve. But I think it's very subtle popping. Just little pops here and there. It's probably there, but whatever, it's all good. It's better, right? We can put on a show. Yeah. We could put on a show, so we're gonna keep going. I'm putting on a show. I've got a stacked docket today. Big thanks to Swift. Big thank you to Swift. We have a lot of cool stuff to talk about. Swift, I'm serious, bro. I want to make this shit more official. You're like volunteering. Not popping. It's not the right word. You're making us go on a wild goose chase, homie. Yeah, Swift, it's actually helpful. You did a really good doc today. I'm sure you saw my message on Discord. I have some compliments for you. No, you did it good. This is a good docket. You're putting less of the like the libs are like, well, there's still the libs are retard stuff in there. But it's not so like extreme and sensationalized. It sounds fine now. I'm probably just hearing shit. Okay. I do know that there's an issue with my mic. But it's going to be something that like you guys don't even care about. It's just something because I edit so much. I work on so much footage, right? And I hear these little discrepancies that nobody else knows. And it's just me and the pride in my work. I have to fix it because I know it's there. You know, I once read the Steve Jobs biography by Walter Isaacson. And there was this chapter in there about when Steve Jobs was a kid, and he was adopted. He was abandoned by his real father, and he was adopted by this family in Silicon Valley. His stepdad or father-in-law, foster parent, whatever it's called. What is that called? I don't know. Anyways, he worked for like IBM or something. So he's like really smart dude. And he had some really good lessons. He ended up teaching this lesson to Steve Jobs when Steve Jobs was a boy. And he taught him because they were building some cabinets to go for the kitchen. And they were doing it themselves. They worked together as a team. And they built these cabinets. And then they were going to put them up. But Steve was like, all right, they're ready. Let's put them up. And the dad was like, they're not ready. They're not done yet. And he's like, what are you talking about? We just finished all of them. Like, they're perfect. And he's like, they're not done. Look at the back of the cabinets. And the back didn't have a finish like the fronts did. The fronts were real nice, but the backs didn't have a finish. And Steve Jobs was like, well, no one's ever going to see that. It doesn't matter. And the dad said, but you'll know it's there. You'll know. Have pride in your work. So that's why, you know, there's little stupid things, they bother me. I want to make sure they're right. So if you guys hear stuff, you know, that's the adoptive father. I guess that's the word. But yeah, that's the story. That's what I learned that from reading that book. And it's like, I almost got a fatherly lesson just by reading the book. And I was like, that's right. Fucking do it right. Take some pride and finish the back of the cabinet too, even though no one will ever see it. Just do it right. Finish the job. You know, that's just the way I even approach that to simply content creation, you know, going live and stuff like that. I want everything to be perfect and good. All right. Let me pop out YouTube chat. We got YouTube hanging out with us today. We got 150 of them already there waiting, chomping at the bit for Trump. Trump. Trump is live. I'm live. Trump has been live every single day of his presidency for the most part. I think the only days he's taken off for some weekends. He's still working. He's just not live in the Oval Office signing shit. Much love from Germany. JD Vance speech was awesome. Some Ronald Reagan tear down the wall shit. Hell yeah, dude. I saw that. I saw some clips of it. I have the full thing. I believe I have the full thing. Oh, that's for later. Hold on. I'll see if I can find it real quick and add it to our docket. JD Vance speech, Germany. Search that on YouTube's. Put it in the docket. We'll watch it after Trump's live stream. JD Vance speech, Germany. Oh, here's the full thing. Oh, that is Talking Heads. Here it is right here. Streamed straight from the White House 8 hours ago. So we have this ready to go as well. There we go. These are like, I love these. They're really easy. You know, we don't have to like put it like it's just straight from the White House. You know, we could just watch it. You know, that's cool. All right. How are you guys doing? YouTube, how are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? We've seen Trump more times than Biden's ass in 4 years. Yeah, that's true. How much poop did you eat today? I pushed out poop just before this stream. I had like a technical difficulty, and then I ended up shutting down the stream, going poop, then coming back, fixing my technical difficulty, and now here we are. Sometimes all you need is a shit. You know? All right, YouTube, you can see and hear me clearly. No popping sounds on YouTube or anything either, right? Yeah, all my stats are like flying colors. Zero issues. It was totally that tech I was using. So glad I narrowed that down. I'm actually glad that problem happened. Now that I'm thinking about it. I was all mad and upset before. And now I'm like, dude, I'm so glad I went through that so I can Just make sure everything's right. Making things better. Okay. I've always believed if you're going to do something, do it right. I agree. Also, not finishing the backside of woodwork leaves it not sealed and vulnerable to damage from water. That's true. Yeah, it'll make it not last as long. You know? Today's your brother's birthday. What's up, Dodge Demon? Happy birthday to your bro. Gonzo! What's up, man? I see you in the chat. Thumbs up from X. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. We need a Trump here in Britain. You guys do. You need somebody in there that actually gives a shit about your country and is not just trying to have some sort of crazy power career, you know? I feel like there's too many people that are trying to have a career, and there's not enough people trying to save their country. That's what I think. That's why I like Elon Musk. Bro's already rich, dude. Everyone's like, he's stealing the government's money. What the fuck are you guys talking about, dude? He's the world's richest man. He doesn't want your measly fucking, 50 million for condoms, bro. Brother Stan, I'm back. Welcome back. No, big fan of Elon Musk. We need him. Europe needs not only a Trump, they also need an Elon Musk. But I think that anybody that's like Trump or Elon Musk, they're just going to come here instead. That's what I think. There's no reward for them there. They'll just be scrutinized. Like they'll still be scrutinized here, but at least there's a reward. There's no reward over there. Europe is having a hard time. What did Trump sign into effect this time? I don't know. We're about to find out. Actually, we're about to find out. So, oh yeah, here it is. This is still live right now. Trump is live. We're just a little behind. There we go. We've only been live 12 minutes. I like to hang out with you guys for a little bit before we get started, but we will be getting started soon. Dude, I've seen so many of your clips, and they're so funny, I end up almost dying laughing. Thanks, Deadshot. What's up, man? Which one do you like? I have 3 channels I've been pimping out right now. I got my just regular memes and funny videos. Then I have gaming videos, which there's comedy in there as well. And then there's the politics, which is also funny. So I try to make them all funny. Yeah, and happy Valentine's Day. That's right, it's Valentine's Day. Should I get Brittany flowers? I'm gonna go pick a flower. All of them, hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Why does Elon have power even though he isn't in a government position because he's an immigrant? Well, he was hired by the president. I don't know, like it's that fucking simple. We elected the president, and then we elected him so he can hire people. Like the president's not going to go do everything like personally. He hires people. He hires a secretary of education, right? He hires that person. He's not going to go do all the education department shit. He's going to have someone else do it. Duh. I don't know. People are so stupid when like, what are you talking about? You are one of the few tolerable people to listen to that talks about politics. I'm just trying to keep it real, right? Like this, like what? We didn't vote for Elon Musk. Right, we didn't. We voted for Donald Trump. Well, I didn't vote, but I wanted him to win. The people voted for Donald Trump. The majority. They voted for him so he can hire people to do the things that he needs them to do. This is basic. I think that people that make the argument like, Elon Musk isn't even part of the government. It's like, well, he is because he was hired by the fucking president. That makes him part of the government. He's working for the government. He's doing the government's bidding. He's working based off of the orders of the president. So the argument is dumb because President Trump hired him. It's that simple. People, you got to realize that. It's if you want to make an argument, you need to make a better one. That one's not going to hold up. That's my advice. Like I'm not going to tell you not to like Elon Musk. Like or hate whoever you want. But I think if you're going to argue about Elon Musk not being a part of the government, we didn't elect him. Like, well, nobody elected Kamala Harris to run for president either. Okay? Some things aren't, like, not everything is 100% election based, and not everything is 100% like that one person is going to go do all the tasks. The president is not going to personally do all these tasks. He's leading a team of people. He's hiring people for his team to help fulfill his vision as president. Simple as that. That's it. It's nothing crazy. You could disagree with his vision as president. You can disagree with Elon Musk and what he's doing. That's totally fine. I don't. I support it wholeheartedly. But it's okay to disagree with it. Just, I think if you're going to make arguments, I think they need to be more solid. Otherwise, they fall apart and no one's going to listen to you. And not listening to you is the last thing that I want. I want to listen to lefties, but you guys have to be logical too. But just be the more logical you are, the easier it's going to be for people to communicate with you and for them to understand where you're coming from. That's my advice to the lefties. Just be more logical, bro. If you say, like, what is Elon Musk doing there? We didn't elect him. We elected Donald Trump, who hired Elon Musk. It's a simple equation. That's not logical. It's not a logical argument, and you're not going to get through to people. The world's not going to end up leaning in any direction that you want it to be if you guys are doing that. So that's why I just make some more logical arguments that we could talk about. There are things to criticize with Trump and Elon Musk. Personally, I think there's more to praise than criticize, but it doesn't mean that they're free of being criticized. We could criticize them. I could criticize Trump if he does something retarded. Okay? If he takes troops and puts them in Gaza, that's a problem for me. I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, if he does something like that, I'm going to be against it. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're just going to give Israel a ton of weapons. That's what we're going to do. Weapons that Biden wouldn't give them. Now we're giving them to them. And Israel's going to have like permission to go do whatever they want without us getting in the way. I think that's what's going to happen. Do I agree with that or not? I don't even fucking know. It's so messy. Literally, I just don't want to be involved. Those people hate each other. They're never going to stop hating each other. I don't know. So, wow, we have 500 people in here already. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let me do, we have tons of unelected bureaucrats hired to do jobs. That's true. Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's not that, like, there's better arguments to be made if you want to make good points with righties. There's just better points that can be made. And I think anybody that wants to argue against Elon Musk and Trump being in charge of shit, I think making better arguments is going to be more helpful on your side. Otherwise, you're just shouting into the void, bro, and it's not accomplishing anything. I think a lot of people find that really fun. And so if, you know what, knock yourself out. Go for it. I wouldn't want to spend my time doing that, but I'm not going to tell you not to. All right, there we go. I just put my Twitch link in the chat. That's going to be at the bottom of the chat if you're watching on a phone. If you guys want to come over to Twitch and watch full screen. Otherwise, we're up here. Let's see, we're live 18 minutes. I'm going to give it just a little bit more time before we get started. I always like to hang out and talk to you guys for about 30 minutes before we start the watching Trump talk, because I don't like to interrupt Trump very much. I'm very, very rarely going to be pausing during Trump speaking. And I don't want to talk over him. So once that starts, I'll be reading chat, but I won't be like responding out loud as much because I want to hear what they have to say. But just know I am reading chat. So our chance to talk is like before and after these streams with Trump. So that's kind of just to get you guys up to speed. We will be going, and I would say max 10 minutes of me yapping, talking to you guys. Then we're going to start with Trump. Maximum. Might start earlier. It just depends on the vibe. W Stan, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not here to tell nobody what to think. This is Rightyville. All right, this chat is fucking Rightyville. But you guys could tell there's a lot of people that don't like Trump in this chat. Am I censoring them? No. They are free to not like Trump, and I'm not going to tell them to like Trump. They could do whatever the fuck they want. My favorite people in the chat are the people that like Trump. You're my favorite. Okay? But, hey, I'm not going to censor the chat. The only time I'm going to do that is somebody's like spamming, you know, and they're like, or just, I don't know, there's certain lines, you know, where someone's just trying, they're causing a big issue, right? And if that's then I'll have to do something. And I don't even want to. I don't even have a single moderator in this chat. Actually, I do. My wife's in the chat. We have one moderator, Brittany. Okay, and we're not censoring people. You can even talk shit on me. You can call me whatever you want. I don't care. You're not going to get censored for that. You could say whatever you want as long as you don't break YouTube's TOS or you're trying to dominate the chat and cause fights and stuff like that. Some people will just spam and whatever, if that's the case and whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of lefties that don't like it because they come in here and their goal is to get banned, and I just let them talk. Yeah, free speech. I mean, this is YouTube. We don't truly have full freedom of speech on YouTube, but we have a lot of free speech, and each creator has their choice of what levels of free speech they want to allow. With this particular chat, oh, we have another mod. There we go. Real Justin, thank you for modding. I don't time out people unless it's serious. Yeah, like very rarely are we going to be timing people out. You guys, lefties, say what you want. Argue with the righties. Guys, hash it out. Say what you want to think. Go for it, man. It's not a problem here. Not a problem here. And I'll be the biggest defender of the lefties. All right, I got you guys' back. I don't agree with a lot of the way you see the world, but I'm going to defend your right to talk about it in this chat if you want to. Just know this is Rightyville, so you're going to be a little outnumbered. And if you're cool with that, then so be it. I'm not going to stop you. I don't see lefties as the enemy. You're Americans. Just like me. We're Americans. We just have different worldviews, and I'm not trying to tell you how to talk, what to say, what to think, nothing like that. I appreciate that being reciprocal, kind of like the reciprocal tariffs. See what I did there? You see that? Hey. I'm like 10% funny. Got a lot of Canadians in the chat. Canadians are pissed. Canadians are pissed. I'm going in VR chat like every night, and I'm looking for the Maple Leafs. I go in VR poker, right? I put on my Oculus or Meta, wherever it's called, and then I go in Vegas Infinite. It's my favorite game on there. It's the only game I play in VR. And then, but you look at the tables and you could see the flags of where everyone's from. And I love finding tables that aren't American, usually, or if they're Canadian, I pop in and I'll say, "Hello, my fellow Americans." They always laugh. There's a couple times there's one pissed off Canadian, and they're all genuinely pissed off. They don't like the shit that we're doing. Obviously, why would they? But it's always a good time. It's fucking hilarious. Hello, my fellow Americans. And we're like, I'm not an American. I'm like, you are now. It's funny. So I mean, it's all just funny memes. We all laugh about it. I'll see if I could stream some VR poker sometime. You guys, it's a hoot, man. You guys will love it. It's so funny. I love going in there, and sometimes you get under someone's skin with something really simple. It's so fun. All right. Anyways, couple more minutes. We're gonna get started with Trumpy Trump news. We're almost there. We're ready to go. I'm German. Meet a lot of Americans, and curious. My American eyes cannot read that. Only Trumper I know of, I met immediately went off on a rant talking about not liking Jews in three minutes in. Yeah, I know those are the insane righties. Yeah, they're insane. Someone starts doing that to me, I just don't listen and I fuck off. I don't know this. What's your views on burning the flag? I mean, do whatever you want, Drew. It's freedom of speech, right? You could do that if you want. I think that's stupid. I'm going to call you retarded. I'm going to make fun of you. That's my freedom of speech, too. Yeah, burning flags, any flags. Fuck burning flags. It's stupid. Accomplishes nothing. It's antagonistic. It's provocative. It's there to get people angry. It's not accomplishing anything. There's no message being sent that's helpful in any way. Much love from Canada. Much love from America. It's disrespectful. Yeah, it's disrespectful too, you know? I don't know, whatever. I don't care. People do whatever they want. Stan, what do you have to say about Elon's salute? Seriously, I have a whole video on it if you'd want to know. It's on my channel. I covered that subject. Yeah, I covered that. I talked about it live too. Do you think Trump will lower the prices and fix the aid that has killed and affected a lot of people? I mean, it's kind of a vague question. Like, what prices? What aid? You know? I think that Trump's going to try and lower taxes. Just like he did before. I think you have a good stance in this political field. I think I do too, right? I am a righty, and I'm not going to like hide that fact or anything. I'm a righty, but I want to be fair and respectful to the other people. I want to set an example for other righties. Don't be fucking insane. Okay? Yeah, like we won. We won. We're in a position of where we can be the calm ones right now. The lefties, they're not so calm right now because, I mean, literally the world has ended and according to their eyes. So you know, and I understand that they feel that way. I disagree. I think it's going to be fine. I said, it's on live on a bunch of streams before the election. I said, no matter who wins, whether it's Kamala or Trump, the opposing side is going to think that the world has ended. And then 4 years is going to go by and we're going to have another election and everything is still going to be here. That's what I said. I even believe that I think Kamala Harris would do a terrible fucking job of president, but our country is so fucking strong. I think that we'll still be here even afterwards. We'll still, it still exists. It's not like we're going to get wiped off the face of the earth or something. We're still here. Do you believe in climate change? I do. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a climate change guy. Yeah. I'm a righty with some lefty views. I'm pro-abortion, but I appreciate communities of people who think differently and they're pro-life. And I don't want to tell them how they're supposed to have their community. I think that they should choose for themselves. If there's a community of people with a worldview on that, and I don't believe there's any right or wrong answer with it necessarily. It depends on how you see the world. So I don't see people who think differently than me about abortion as being wrong. I see them as people who just see the issue with different logic. That's all. They have a different logic system than mine. I understand their logic system. I respect it. I don't disagree with them one bit. They could see it how they want. And I think that if there's a community of people that want to be anti-abortion, then vote on that and you can have it. And if there's communities that want to be pro-abortion, vote on that and they can have it. That's the way I see it. And it's very much what Trump says is let the states decide. I like that. I like letting the states decide so certain cultures of people can have their way of life. And I'm not a religious person. I'm pro-abortion and I believe in climate change. As a righty, as a Trump supporter, as a Elon Musk straight up stan. My name is Stan. I stand for Elon Musk. Okay? Opinions on LGBTQ+. I don't give a fuck. Go do whatever you want. Just don't be an asshole about it. Leave them alone. If there's some LGBTQ+ person that's getting in everyone's fucking face and being a problem, then get in their face too and tell them to fuck off. If somebody is LGBTQ+ and they're just minding their own fucking business, leave them alone. That's what I say. Leave them alone. I don't care. You can stand up for yourself even against a minority. Yeah, you're allowed to do that. You can stand up for yourself against minorities and you're still in the right. That's allowed. That's logical. I'm just logical and I'm a live and let live person, right? I'm not homophobic. I'm not transphobic. I don't give a fuck. There are certain things where I think there's lines being crossed, like castrating fucking children. That's fucked up. No, I'm against that. Trans people in sports, bro, if someone's a biological dude and they're in there doing a weightlifting, what the fuck are we doing? They're boxing? What the fuck are we doing? Are you serious? No, I'm against that 100%. That's not killing trans kids, dude. That's just drawing a line in the sand saying, hey, dudes can't compete against women. Okay? That's it. So, I mean, those are my issues with it. It's someone's being a militant fucking asshole. I don't care who they are. LGBTQ+, whatever the fuck. I mean, if someone's in your face, then get in their face back to stand up for your fucking self. I don't care who they are. If someone's not causing any problems, leave them alone. Because they're not causing any problems. Nobody's causing problems. Leave them alone. I don't know. It's simple. I don't know. I see things so simple. All right. We are 30 minutes into the stream. It is Trump time. Let's do this. I'm going to read a few more questions before we get started. You are not logical. I think I am, but you can disagree all you want, Mike. Leave it to doctors. Yeah, I don't know. I think, castrating children, not okay. Fuck the doctors. I can't die for my country until I'm 18. Or why are we letting kids cut their dicks off? What the fuck are we talking about? No, dude. We can't, no chemically castrating, no physically castrating, none of that until they're old enough. That's a big deal, dude. They're not old enough. People are getting, bro, when I was a little kid, I wanted to be a vampire with robot arms. If I had my way, I'd chopped my arms off and put robot arms instead. Fuck that, dude. I'm so glad I wasn't in charge of my body when I'm a little kid. I would have fucking robot arms. No. It's common sense. So I do have some lefty views. I have some righty views. I have common sense views. I think the most common sense shit is the best ideas from everywhere in one. Not just only one side's ideas or only one side's ideas. Best ideas that make sense to you as a person, you bring them into one. There's certain things that, you know, like I think college should be free or at least have a free option, right? So you could like get a degree in certain things and go get like a job doing that stuff. That'd be cool. You know what I mean? For free. You don't have to, you know what I mean? Like go into massive debt just to get a job. This sounds so ass backwards. $5 super chat from states. A federal abortion ban. I'm against that. I don't agree with it. So I would say no. I'm not for that. I would say leave it up to the states. That's not something that I support or would vote for. We got Krios in the chat. It says hello. I'm a Democrat. What's up, man? I don't like Adrian. Says hello. I'm sorry I'm late. What's up? Welcome. Vagrant says some dudes can't even compete against other dudes, hence weight classes. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Weight classes, they're there for a reason. You know, they truly are. We're not cutting their dicks off, but when dealing with trans kids, it's scientifically advised to support them. I think it's okay to support them, but we shouldn't allow them to castrate themselves. We shouldn't have body transforming chemicals going into them until they're old enough. Straight up facts. And most people agree with this. That's not even an 80-20% issue. That's like a 95-5% issue. Like it's just the wrong side of history. Straight up, dude. History books aren't going to show that it's going to be like the same thing as like when we were doing like shock treatment on mental people, you know? Are we lagging on YouTube at all? YouTube, are we lagging? It looks like, yeah, there's lag. We're lagging and we're bleeding viewers from the lag. I wonder why. Fuck. Can't catch a break with this tech, man. I recommend try lowering the resolution. Let me see if I can change some stream settings here. Enable DVR. I might have to change the stream latency for the next stream. Well, yeah, it is what it is. All right, we're just gonna have to deal with it. That's fine. YouTube is lagging, not you? Okay. Yeah, it says my connection is excellent. Like I have 0 dropped frames. Maybe it's just YouTube. I have been having problems with that. Okay, let's get started. Steak, and it's not what would have been. It's not the best thing for them. But for some other people, being trans is the best thing. Like that, like them being trans is going to help them be the happiest version of themselves going forward. And if that's truly genuinely the case, like what's best for them, right? Like they are genuinely going to feel better for the rest of their life and not regret it or anything like that, you know, cause any like serious negative mental or physical issues and stuff like that, and they're happy with it, then yes, that's the best thing for them. I want what's best for people, you know, and sometimes what's best for people is something that I wouldn't do for me, but it's best for them. So, but then there's other cases where I think that people deeply regret it and it was not the right decision for them. And that's where I'm like, well, now I feel bad. I wish you could have had a better decision, you know? So it just depends. Don't want it forcing things upon people or indoctrinating them into it. I'm against that too. Let people choose for themselves. If people feel a certain way, they'll naturally themselves feel that way without someone influencing how they feel. That's another thing too. So I do think that we're overly influencing it. And I think it's a militant thing. I think it's not, I don't think that the agenda is purely moral. I think it's a battle tactic. That's what I feel like for a lot of it. For a lot of people, it's a war for them. Every kid needs to be trans. That's the way they see it. Some people are just wacko like that. All right, here we go. Let's watch this Trump stream. Let's do it. Hopefully the YouTube stops lagging. It's not my fault. It's YouTube. Whoa. That's crazy. Schools that have mandated, huh? Oh, there was never audio this entire time. Huh? I was playing music this whole time and there's no audio. Thank you for letting me know. Damn, dude, I didn't have audio the whole time. I just fixed this. All right, hold on. Let me back it up so you guys can hear it. Let's start again.
Signing into this topic. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much
Here we go.
for being here. We have largely an energy group today. We're looking to be very energy dominant, and we will be in a very short order. These are great professionals, but before we do that, we'll be signing an executive order having to do with COVID and schools. Lindsay?
Yep. So this first executive order, it prohibits federal funding for COVID-19 mandates,
Crazy.
vaccine mandates.
There, the audio is balancing.
And that will meaning they want to clear that up,
Yep.
the discrepancy.
So any schools that require students to be vaccinated with COVID-19 shot, then there's no more federal funding. So.
Okay?
Damn, that's crazy. No more funding for schools mandating vaccines. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure. I have to process that and think about it. I'm not just going to automatically pick what I think. I don't know what I think. I love the sound of that pen, but it also is screechy for me. It's like, there it is. Okay.
Yes, it'll go through the Department of Education. Okay?
I got vaccinated when I was a kid for all kinds of shit that wasn't like COVID.
Mr. President?
Yes, please.
As a father of 9, thank you. We should have parental freedom to decide what vaccines our kids take, as opposed to school systems and governors forcing upon the people that love these kids the most, which is the parents. So thank you for signing that.
Great, thank you.
All right, I gotta say something. I'm a righty, but I gotta say, kids are fucking disgusting creatures, and every adult that's getting sick, it's from those little shits in school not being clean, and the diseases are spreading amongst them. Then they bring it home to their fucking parents, right? And I'm feeling like maybe like COVID, you know, I don't know. There's got to be a certain line, like there's got to be a certain line where it's logical to where like all these kids that are in one area, they should be vaccinated. Like when I went overseas, I had to get vaccinations when I was in Iraq and shit like that, and all these other countries that I was in, because they had like diseases in those countries, and I had to get vaccinated for them so I can go to those places and not get fucking sick. So I'm just curious on where the line is with this order. Is it just like across the board, any requirement of any type of vaccination, or is it specifically just COVID? I'm not sure. I'm just saying, the way I see it, I'm glad I got vaccinated when I was a kid. I didn't get no fucking chicken pox and shit like that.
Here is an executive order.
So, I mean, maybe there's some schools where kids can go to and like where, you know, like those rules aren't there and everyone could do whatever they want. And I just think that if we measured it, like there's schools where they require vaccines to go to school, and there's other schools where it's open season, one's going to have a lot more illnesses than the other. Just mathematically, across the board, all the schools across the nation, right? Just math, it's math. They said COVID, specifically COVID vaccines. I mean, I did get one. Did we do one or two? We did the two. Nothing bad happened to me from taking the vaccines, but I was super fucking paranoid. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, dude, is this shit fucking tested right? Is this gonna be a problem later? I'm still paranoid. I'm still paranoid.
Energy Dominance Council. So that will be chaired by the Secretary of the Interior, Mr. Burgum, and the Vice Chair, Chris Wright. And so this will reduce costs with respect to energy, establish American independence with energy, and also unleash energy dominance.
Good, thank
Interesting.
you. And this is a big deal. We have more energy than any other country, and now we're unleashing it, to put it nicely. And I'd like to ask Doug, you're going to be heading it up. You and Chris, would you say a few words about it, please?
Yeah, absolutely, sir. Good afternoon. President Trump wisely understood that under the Biden administration, There was a war against American energy, and today that war officially has ended. President Trump on day one declared a national energy emergency. And this is a real emergency because under the Biden administration restricted the production of oil and gas. Production's still coming, but when you stop holding leases, when you take 625 million acres of land out of ocean land, out of production possibilities through an executive order, you're really restricting the balance sheet of America. But today, as President Trump said, this is unleashed. The National Energy Dominance Council will be made up, all the folks that are standing beside me here, other cabinet leaders and many more, represent President Trump's wise decision that we need a whole of government approach to unwind. The Biden administration had a whole of government approach that had the war against U.S. energy. Now we need to turn that around 180 degrees and unleash that potential. We've got to unleash it.
This is what I'm talking about.
Gulf of America, all the way up to Alaska.
Gulf of America, baby.
Amazing resources in this country, and we haven't been getting a return on them. Many of these are under public lands. The interior has 500 million acres of surface, 700 million acres of subsurface minerals, critical minerals, and offshore close to 2 billion acres. And that balance sheet is the biggest balance sheet in the world, and it's been completely underutilized. Everybody knows we have 36 trillion in debt as a country, but no one knows how many hundreds of trillions of dollars of assets we have. And President Trump is asking us to go get a return on that investment for the American people.
Interesting.
With that, we're going to have prosperity at home with lower prices, and we're also going to have peace abroad, because the wars that we've been engaged in,
wars are expensive.
Our allies have been fighting over the past few years, have been funded by the oil sales of our adversaries. So we have an opportunity, and we also are in an AI arms race with China. The only way we win that is with more electricity. And we also have an energy emergency in terms of electricity. Too much.
We need more compute and more power.
Not enough base load. We've been shutting down the base load that we have. President Trump is going to reverse that, and it's going to allow us to win the AI arms race, which is the most important thing that we have to do relative to our future. So with that, I want to say again, thank you to President Trump, and I want to thank my fellow members of the Energy Council here. I'm going to kick it over to the Vice Chair, Chris Wright.
What's your opinion on Trump leaving the Paris thing?
Thank you, Secretary Burgum.
My answer to that,
truly a great day.
my answer to the Paris Agreement thing is this, right? And this is why I think that I'm a better person to watch when it comes to politics. I don't fucking know enough about the Paris thing. Let me go research it and learn more about it, and then I'll get back to you on what I think about Trump leaving it. Since I don't know about it, I'm not going to support it or disagree with it because I don't fucking know. There you go. There's my answer. Just wanted to make that clear.
And Secretary Burgum laid out so many of the problems the last 4 years. If you put barriers in front of energy, you make it more expensive, you make it less reliable, you make it harder to do business here, and harder for our consumers to pay their bills. With this fantastic action from our president, we now have authority across the government to lean in to fix these problems. And I'll start out with one specific right away. This morning, I signed our first LNG export license, unpausing the pause in action.
Who is this guy?
Commonwealth LNG project that'll be on the Gulf Coast in Louisiana is now officially ready to go. This will be a large construction project for American workers. It'll draw demand for more American energy production that'll be shipped overseas to our allies. Many more of those to come. We're also working aggressively to roll back standards that have made appliances more expensive for Americans, and dishwashers that take 2 hours long and don't get your dishes clean. Nobody likes that. That's about standing in the way.
Those dishwashers are slow.
This president,
pretty easy to hurry up. You should not take 2 hours to wash dishes.
So many things we can do.
You're faster than the machine.
American lives better, bring down costs, and grow opportunities. And with that, I'm going to kick it over to a fellow member of the council, our administrator of the EPA.
$5 super chat from PK Droid says, do you like Trump and politic, or do you just watch for fun? I started off watching for fun. I've always liked Trump. I've always been a fan of Trump. The only time I was like least liking Trump was how he responded to losing the second election. That's, that was my least favorite Trump era. But I've always liked Trump. And I don't know. I never voted, but I wanted Trump to win.
Lee Zeldin.
Thank you, Secretary, and honored to be serving on the Energy Dominance Council. At EPA, we're doing our part to power the great American comeback. And President Trump has made it clear—
Hold on, sorry to pause one more time. Paris Climate Agreement. You really should know a little. I don't know. I'm not avoiding it. I just never looked into it. You said you believe in climate change. Honestly, I find it weird how nobody seems to want to burn less, pay for less fuel. Shut up.
That he wants EPA to be
My answer
doing
before is
our
perfectly
job
fine. Stop trying to
ensure
cause a
that we
fight.
are unleashing
Stop it.
energy
You're a perfect
dominance.
example
However,
of someone
we
just
can
here to
help.
fight.
That we are
Shut up.
assisting in making America the AI capital of the world, that we are pursuing permitting reform, that we are helping to bring back American auto jobs. This is the mandate of the American public. The Trump mandate, it was clear. And the guidance from President Trump to me.
You won
when
3
he
times?
asked me, thankfully, for the opportunity for us to be able to serve together.
Tesla
in
Optimus soldiers,
partnership
fuck
to
yeah.
unleash energy dominance.
Tesla
this is
soldiers.
a moment that we must meet. To that end, it is important to note that the prior Biden-Harris EPA issued a waiver to California for tailpipe emissions. This was a rule that should have been submitted to Congress. We will submit it to Congress. Congress will have the opportunity through the Congressional Review Act to make that waiver go away. We will do everything in our part to help the American people to make life in America more affordable. The golden age of American success is upon us. If you're excited about the last 3 weeks, that was just a taste of the main
I'm
event,
excited about the past
entree
3
to
weeks.
come, the next 4 years being the greatest
We got
term
4 more
in the
years.
history of the American
Let's
presidency.
go. I'm all about
With that,
it.
I'd
Let's
like
keep
to
doing
introduce
shit. Let's
Sean Duffy.
optimize the way we operate and be
First of all,
competitive
thank you
again.
for the, work on dishwashers. We use more water to wash our dishes before we put them in the dishwasher.
That's right.
We're not saving water, we're using more water, so thank you for that. But I'm also joining the EPA. We've introduced our rules to start to look at the CAFE standards. So we're looking at how much it costs for end users when they put gas in their car. And the Biden era standards are costing billions of dollars in taxes and carbon credits, which drive up the cost of vehicles. And so we're going to remedy that, rectify it, and make sure we're bringing down the cost of a car. Per your direction, we are going to, for the Texas Gulf Link Deepwater Port, making sure we can move energy in and out of the country. So that was held up for 5 years. And it was stonewalled, bureaucrats got in the way. We're now going to move forward with that, making sure we have great oil infrastructure in the country.
Great, thanks. Great
And
job.
Howard Lutnick?
Yes.
So
That helicopter's
the
loud.
nanny state. You're
This guy
feeling
again.
the end of the nanny state. From straws made of paper to regulation endlessly harming Americans and holding us back. It slows down our production and manufacturing, which we were talking about with the Prime Minister of India yesterday. You're hearing that about energy dominance. It's going to go away. We're going to care about Americans. The Trump administration and this president cares about Americans, and you're going to feel it change. You're going to feel the price of energy coming down. You're going to feel prices coming down. You're going to feel an explosion. The golden age of manufacturing of America has always been there. It's just been stifled by regulation, and that time
That's true. It has
is
been.
over.
I've experienced that myself. Before I was ever a content creator, before I was a YouTuber, before I was a Twitch streamer, I was in business. My last business that I had other than content was manufacturing. It's a company called Samson Exhaust. It was my dad's company. He started it, passed it on to me. It was in a very terrible place. Manufacturing is a tough job. Very slim margins are hard to get by in that world. And taking over that company was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire fucking life. Manufacturing is brutal. Joining the Marines and going to Iraq was easier. I'd rather do that again than go through what I did running my dad's company. Okay. And I will tell you that when it comes to manufacturing, we used to be a mecca for manufacturing, and it's not anymore. It's so bad. And guess what? Like, some of the best manufacturing is happening in like California. Believe it or not. Isn't that ridiculous? We should have like manufacturing mecca in Texas. What are we doing? It's messed up. The whole thing is messed up. So I really want, I think that it's a positive thing to focus our like if we're playing a real-time strategy game, I think it's logical to focus a lot of our like research points on manufacturing and bring manufacturing here so we can have that, because it is everything around you in your room right now, wherever you are, the phone that you're holding in your hand, it was manufactured. Everything around you is made. Manufacturing is, with a lot of Americans that are getting into politics and stuff, severely underestimated how powerful that is. This is one reason why Trump has always been pursuing bringing manufacturing here, because it is OP. If you're the ones who make it, right, then you hold, like, you have the leverage. He's trying to bring leverage back to America, and that's what manufacturing is going to do. It really needs to come here.
Mr. President, I just want to say that you've built such an incredible team, and Secretary and Chairman Burgum, that he's been working on this his whole life.
Don't bring manufacturing to Texas.
Sir, is action as early as next
that guy
week that is going to shock
boats in
people
Texas.
about how good it is
Guys.
for Americans. And so thank you for your leadership, sir.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
Wait, hold on. I have a question for you, Austin. Why not bring manufacturing to? Why are you saying please don't bring manufacturing to Texas? I am actually super curious, Austin. Can you please answer? I'm asking you. Please tell us what your logic is and what the benefit is to not bringing manufacturing to Texas.
We are also working on a project that has been under wraps for 20 years. Everybody wanted it.
What's up, Texas Pete?
It's been held up by New York. It's a pipeline that will bring down the energy prices in New York and in all of New England by 50, 60, 70%. It should have been done years ago. We'll be speaking to New York, and the New York is actually the biggest beneficiary because their energy costs are very high. This will reduce them very substantially. But all of the governors want this to happen, and I think it's going to happen. It's now going to happen. It's something that's would rather not have to go eminent domain. We'll do that if we have to in New York, but hopefully we won't have to do that. This again will bring down energy prices in New England by numbers that nobody can even believe. Probably
yeah, Texas is OP, dude.
Maybe even more than that. A lot of them don't even pay energy because they have no energy. They use logs. They go out and they cut down a tree. It's really a terrible situation. So we're going to get this done, and we can have it done once we start construction. We're looking at anywhere from 9 to 12 months, if you can believe it. It's going to go very rapidly. The other thing I'd like Doug to mention, the 635 million acres that Biden so viciously took out of our net worth. If you look at it from the standpoint of a company, you talk about net worth. They've destroyed our net worth. We're putting it back. It will be back as of this afternoon. And Doug, could you mention that? All of the millions and millions of acres that he just handed back to
yes,
nobody.
The executive order by President Biden that wiped out these trillions from our balance sheet. President Trump signed an executive order instructing me as the Secretary of Interior to unban that ban.
Secretary of Interior.
And so those are back on the U.S. balance sheet.
All right. Question for chat. I know a lot of you guys know this stuff. I don't know a lot of things, so I'm going to ask. What is the Secretary of Interior, and what do they do? What are they responsible for?
625 million acres of offshore that was banned from further lease sales.
Further anything.
And 625 million acres is
Right.
1/3 the size of the lower 48 that was taken off our balance sheet. It's back on there now. President Trump cares about the American people. He knows that these public lands belong to the public. They don't belong to Washington bureaucrats.
No idea, me either, but I want to know.
And we're going to make sure that we get a return on investment for the American people.
Decorating the Oval Office.
Money that he took off our balance sheet. If you look at the balance sheet, it was
That's funny.
incalculable.
Tight, you're
Nobody's
hilarious.
Ever seen anything like it? And he did that, I guess, in the last few days of the administration. He just wiped it out. 635 million acres.
Okay.
Which if you-
Swift is like our scribe. He is way more righty than I am. Keep that in mind. But he really has a love for the facts. And I think that he's able to separate his bias from facts pretty well. Not all the time, but pretty well. Swift says basically land management and resource for federal land. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more? So land management and resources for federal land. Okay, that's what the Secretary of Interior does. Interesting.
You sit
Most of the
down
time,
and
yeah.
look, it's like, that's a major part of the ocean. And he just gave it away and took it away. And fortunately, it wasn't done with an act of Congress or anything. And we did it in a, I think, very abbreviated, very quick, and very legal procedure. And it's now back on our balance sheet. It's back as part of our country. What they did was so horrible. just a terrible thing to do.
Department of Interior deals with land, national
Also,
park,
they
and government
mentioned
land.
dishwashers
Thank you,
and
Miss Conway.
Sinks and showers and the whole
I'm learning
thing.
stuff from you guys. You guys are teaching me.
We're going to get
Appreciate
rid of those
you.
restrictions. You have many places
This is
where
the
they have
funnest
water,
way to
they
learn.
have so much water they don't know what to do with it. But people buy a house, they turn on the sink and water barely comes out. They take a shower, water barely comes out. And it's an unnecessary restriction. And basically, I think we're going to be going back to the Trump rule. We had it, and everybody was happy. And then these people came in and they restricted it again. So we're going back and we'll get it approved by Congress. In addition, we'll get it approved by Congress. So for 4 years, it's good, but we're going to get it permanently taken care of.
Getting
Again,
paid to
very
learn. I am,
environmental,
actually,
very
yeah.
environmentally friendly. But we want to be able to, when somebody turns on a sink to wash their hands or presses the button for a dishwasher, and there's barely enough water to, I mean, there's no water. And you know what they do? They press the button 10 times. They run it 10 times, so it ends up costing a lot more.
Dude,
So,
I love the way Trump
I know
talks,
you're working
man.
on that, and where are we
I
on
just
that?
love it so much.
We're working closely with the Department of Energy with regards to rules that were enacted during the Biden administration. Inside of the EPA, we are overhauling the water sense standards that are there to update them for the American people, to bring down cost of living and combat inflation, and just pursue common sense.
$2 super chat from Random Kills has a really interesting question, because I was asking this myself literally earlier today. Labor overseas is so cheap. How do we bring it back? That's a really good point, because Americans are way more expensive than anyone else when it comes to our labor. So how do we bring it here and still drop the price? I don't know. I'm in wait and see moment. That's where, you know what I mean? Like I don't know enough. I don't have enough experience to say, but I've thought about it, and it is a concern of mine. We are more expensive, you know? So like, let's say you're running a business and you're trying to get shit made for cheap. Where's the cheapest place to get your stuff made? Especially if it's like without compromise, right? You get the same end product, but for cheaper. There is no compromise. So if there's no compromise and you can get a cheaper price from one place, that's where businesses logically are going to land, because they're bottom line oriented. So I'm just kind of, I know that there's a lot of incoming and outgoing numbers with the transaction of everything that's made elsewhere and brought here versus just making it here. And since I support Trump, I want to trust his equation of him thinking that it's going to be more beneficial just to do it here. And I think he's right, because it's efficient. My concern is just how expensive Americans are. We pricey. We ain't cheap. Just saying. So that's where like China and India are crushing us, because they have like borderline fucking slave labor, and they're utilizing that. Like the government is utilizing that to their fullest advantage, and it's really hard to compete against when we're expensive and have freedom and shit like that.
Well, we have more oil and gas than anybody else in the world. We're opening up Anwar again. As you know, we got something Ronald Reagan couldn't do it. No president was able to do it. I got it. And the first week in office, the Biden administration terminated that. Anwar,
The tariffs might change that too. It's part of the
probably
equation,
bigger
like you're
than
saying.
Saudi Arabia. We don't know yet, but it's of that size or bigger. And we hit gold, and I call it liquid gold, but we hit gold, and for whatever reason, they terminated it, and we were just ready to start utilizing it. This could take care of all of Asia, energy-wise, very close to Japan. In fact, Japan wants to go and be our partner doing the pipeline going right into the ships. So they expressed tremendous interest. So did Prime Minister Modi of India. And just in closing, both Prime Minister Modi and the Prime Minister of Japan, both very good people, they said we couldn't make a deal. We couldn't get any energy. I mean, you wonder what was going on with our country. They couldn't make a deal to get any energy from the Biden administration. They just couldn't do it.
They suck.
Nobody to deal with.
They have no idea how it even works.
And they're very happy that
I feel like a lot of the people that were part of the Biden administration don't even actually have a big picture view of how all this stuff works and how the money moves and how important it is for us to be competitive and stuff. And they just see it as like unlimited money and don't think about the consequences. That's just the vibe I get. I could be wrong. I'm probably biased as a righty, just looking at them as dumb or something like that. But I just feel like that's what happened. You know, that's what I feel like it happened. And it just feels like these people actually have an understanding of like global like finance and are trying to be competitive in this market where everyone else is trying really hard to be competitive, and we're just sitting here unlimited money glitch, right? And that's not the case. We're gonna get crushed in the long run if we're not competitive.
Here, but we're going to really benefit our taxpayers, and we're going to benefit our country. So I want to thank everybody for coming. This is a very big bill. This is really going to be energy dominant.
Thank you for the follows, guys, on Twitch.
Dominant like nobody else.
And thank you for the $2 super chat,
This
PK
doesn't
Droid.
even discuss all of the electricity that we're going to be producing for all of the AI plants. You know, they need double the electricity at least that we have right now. So you take all of our electricity that we have all over the country, just for AI to do it right and to win that war, which we're leading by a lot.
Trump doesn't think AI produces electric. Trump understands that AI requires a lot of electric. You've got it wrong. This executive order that he's signing is for us to get more energy. Since AI is very energy intensive, it requires a lot of power. Think of like Bitcoin, like cards just running at full max power, right? And like that was using a lot of power from our grid. Everyone, like all the Bitcoin miners, right? Remember that? AI is very similar. It takes a lot of power to operate, and that's what he's signing here. He's trying to get us more energy so we could power the AI and lead with AI, because we're in an arms race with China with AI. And it's like, it's a very new, powerful technology. We're not even fully aware of what it even means and where it's going to lead us. There's a lot of philosophical people trying to figure that out, you know, trying to guess and stuff, but at the end of the day, we don't really know. All we know is that this is powerful, and we want to be first, and we need to have a hold on that. And that's what this is for. We need more electricity to power the AI. It's not, you got it wrong and backwards. I think that you're thinking of it backwards because you don't like Trump. So you're going to think that everything that he's doing is stupid. But if you really think about this issue, AI is a new emerging thing, and we're building these AI super centers. Okay, like we have all the super data centers. Now we're building AI power centers, and AI is going to power everything. We won't even need to have these big giant computer machines in the future. We're going to have these AI powered servers that are just crunching the numbers on everything in the cloud for us. That's the future, and that's what they're investing in right now, and we need to be first. So you think we have a lot of cloud products now? Just wait until we build these AI super centers and we accelerate. Like we're accelerating right now with like insane technology. Right now is a good time to invest in AI. It always has been. It's absolutely exploding, and it's not going to stop. It's going to keep going. These things like this type of actions from the president is going to make AI investments even better. So if you've got extra cash, you could throw $100 in Nvidia or something, you know, Microsoft, right? Microsoft has Azure. They're powering a lot of the AI that's on the internet right now. Like there's AI is a big deal, and it takes a lot of power to operate, and it's going to need even more. So now we have to double our energy efforts. Energy is the ultimate currency. So we need more. And that's what this is about.
Because of what we've done over the last few weeks. We're leading by actually a lot. But if you take all of it, we have to double our electricity needs just for the AI, and that doesn't include the other technologies. So it's a real honor to sign this bill. We're going to also work on CAFE standards. Lee, you're going to be doing that and make that whole situation, bring that back into reality, and I think very quickly, having to do with cars. Thank you very much.
Here we go. The mic. They need a better mic for the pen.
No, but in 2 weeks we will have another one. Yesterday was very big. Reciprocal tariffs was very big. And
sorry to pause. I just got a donation. $2 super chat from Pedro. It says, I've watched you since the tortilla slap video. Thank you very much. He also said up here, let me scroll. He says, what made Trump want to be in presidency? I don't know. I've seen videos from him a long time ago saying that he wanted to do it. But so I think maybe it's just always an aspiration of his.
I explained to
That's my
the
guess.
Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister Modi, very good man. His tariffs are very, very high. India's tariffs are among the highest. And I said, well, now, you know, we were very low. We were the lowest. They're just about the highest. There are others as high, but not much higher. And I said, no, from now on, what we do is what you charge us, we charge you. It's very simple. So whatever you're charging us, you can go as high as you want. Whatever you charge us, we charge you.
Did he make any pledges?
And I wouldn't say they were thrilled to hear that, but that's the way it is. Tariff, I told you, is a beautiful word. Fourth most beautiful.
Did he make any pledges about BRICS nations not undermining the dollar? You had threatened 100% tariffs.
BRICS, the BRICS nations I think that's breaking up very rapidly. We said that if they're going to go and do anything to undermine the dollar, that includes China. I don't even know that they're a member of BRICS, but they had a few nations get together to try and play cute. And I said, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every one of those nations. And at the mere thought of saying that, I think that's all broken up. That idea has no longer sailed. Now, that would be a terrible thing for our country. It would be bad for the world. They wanted to undermine the dollar. 6 nations got together. They want to undermine the dollar. That didn't work out too well. Not going to happen. And we're getting along with a lot of nations now, frankly. There's a lot of respect for the United States. We have regained the respect that we should have, but we've also done things to deserve it. I mean, we've freed up our country, and you're going to see this is basically energy dominance, and it's going to be environmentally clean, environmentally wonderful, and taxes will be very reasonable based on this. We're going to make more money than anybody's ever made with energy. We have more energy than anybody else, and it's clean energy, very clean, beautiful energy. We're lucky. We have it. I call it liquid gold under our feet, and we're going to utilize it. So this is a very big bill, and I have a very talented group of people behind me. This gentleman was the #1 man in all of the oil industry. They said there's nobody like him, Chris Wright. And you know, Doug actually made a tremendous fortune in technology, and he said, I'm going to run for the governorship of, he loves his state, of North Dakota. And he did.
What do you think is the chance BRICS intends to intimately undermine the petrodollar? I just learned what BRICS is yesterday, so keep that in mind, right? Somebody said it, or they were talking about it, and I asked, what the hell is that? I've never heard it before. It was explained to me that it's a union of 12 nations. It started off with 4 or 5, and then now it's 12. I'm still learning about that, but I will say this. I think the chances of that team of nations trying to be as competitive as they fucking possibly can is 100% going to happen. That's what I think. They're going to try and be competitive, and they're going to be competitive, and we need to be competitive alongside them. That's what, or with them. That's what we need to do. So I like it. Learning more about that made me realize just how important it is that we actually step our fucking game up as America. Okay, we can get passed up. It doesn't seem like it's possible. We've been on top the whole time. We've been on top my entire life. We've been on top. I don't know anything else other than being on top. But it's gonna stop if we don't continue to be a competitive nation with all of the other nations. We need to play the game the way we play it. Just saying. So it strengthened my, support for Donald Trump, because I feel now I'm understanding, dude, this guy's playing a bigger game than people even realize, and that is the global game of nations. And we need to continue to secure our position as being a dominant country.
And he made it so energy powerful that I think you're more proficient in energy than technology, but what do I know? And this guy, everybody knows him, Sean. He's been, he's done a fast study on transportation, and he knows.
We need to be better at education. I agree. We need to be better at a lot of things.
He's learned a lot. He's really been great. And Howard has built one of the great companies, Cantor Fitzgerald. It was wiped out, completely wiped out, other than a few people left in Europe. And he rebuilt the company into a bigger, better company. Cantor Fitzgerald is one of the most, absolutely one of the top companies on Wall Street, stocks, bonds, trading. And he took that, he literally watched the plane go into the building, into the World Trade Center. Amazing story. That alone is an amazing story. He was delayed because his wife insisted that he finally, after years, take his child to school. So he took his child to school that one day, because probably he would have been in the building at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's that business, right? So you owe your wife a lot and your child a lot, right? But his wife insisted that he take his child to school. For 5 years, he didn't do it. He was horrible. What kind of a father was he? Okay, I'll do it. And he was therefore driving down at 8:43, whatever the time was, down the West Side Highway, and he saw the plane go into the side of the building. He said, wow. And he occupied the top 3 floors of the World Trade Center.
That's crazy, man.
Of the World Trade Center. And you know what happened there? He lost 100% of the people in that, his whole company was there. and he rebuilt
That's crazy.
his company step by step over years and became bigger and stronger, and he gave a tremendous amount of the profit to the families of the people that died, which he didn't have to do. And now he's working with us. He did an incredible job. I mean, anybody in that world, they know Howard Lutnick very well, and I'm honored to have him running commerce. He's going to be incredible. He loves the country. And Lee was
Here's
a great
the guy they're
lawyer,
talking about. I'll scoot
a
it
great
over.
Congressman,
This guy right there.
very successful person, both as
The
a
beard
lawyer
on the
and
left.
as a congressman, and knows a lot about the environment, cares about the environment, and we were lucky that I was very happy that you joined, and he was with me right from the beginning, always was with me, and I've always been with him. And Kevin Hassett, we know everybody knows Kevin, and he's fantastic. And you and Lindsay, you and your team are incredible. The job you've done, we really appreciate it. Thank Will, and the job you guys are doing is really fantastic. We're knocking this out. Brian, do you have a question?
I actually do. What kind of piqued my interest is growing up on the Texas Gulf Coast, natural gas, the LNG that you mentioned.
Yeah.
What's the potential for like new jobs or growth in that area? I mean, that part of the country, Southwest Louisiana, Southeast Texas, they depend on that.
I would say that potential is simply tremendous. 20 years ago, the United States was the biggest importer of natural gas in the world. And we had natural gas prices 2 or 3 times higher than
PK Joy, thanks for the $2 super chat. Happy Valentine's Day.
And great entrepreneurs in Texas and
This kid just learned about bricks and he wants to talk about politics.
We are now today
I'm allowed
the largest
to,
net
and people are
exporter
listening.
Of natural gas in the world.
Marcos, go live. See how many people want to listen to you. $5 super chat for Marcos. So you paid $5 to say this. This kid just learned about bricks and he wants to talk about politics. Yeah, wouldn't you rather somebody not pretend like they fucking know everything? I mean, what is wrong with that? Nothing. Nothing is wrong with that. And that's what we need more of. I want to set an example. I don't know everything, and I'm learning that. I'm interested in it. I'm learning about this stuff as I go. Stuff that I didn't know before. Now I'm learning. And I bet that I'm going to learn about it and become more logical than you are. That's what I think. I think I'm going to be more logical and more fair than you are about these issues. And I'm going to have known about them less than you. Less time. I'm just going to lap you as far as understanding these things.
So much of the world is depending upon natural gas is the fastest growing energy source. Has been for 50 years. We were the driver of that, and then we paused. We stopped our ability to grow natural gas exports. Both the Japanese government and Indian government expressed great distress about that. They're going to count on energy imports from the U.S., and we may just change our mind. So I think they're thrilled to see the actions of this president say America's open for business. Yes, we have the energy, we have the people, we have huge job opportunities and investment opportunities, not just in the oil and gas industry, but all those surrounding communities that are lifted up by that more production here. And as we produce more production at scale, not only does it allow us to export, but it becomes more efficient, and it helps us drive down the cost for our domestic consumers as well.
Yeah, I know they're really happy, so just let you
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. And I will say this, that this all started 8 years ago when I got elected. We were doing this, not to the extent that we're doing it now, but we were doing this, and we became number one in oil and gas by far. And we were number 3, even number 4, some would say. When I left, we were number 1 by a lot. And then they pulled way back, and the prices started going through the roof. And then they went back to my plan, but by that time, the prices had already gone up, so they really disrupted it. But now we're going to take it to a new level. It's going to be amazing. And we're also, it's very powerful, clean coal. We have more coal than anybody. This is good, beautiful, clean coal. And if you notice, China's opening up a coal plant.
Everything is marketing.
Germany is now opening up a coal plant every 2 months. Very powerful. It's probably the most powerful source of energy in terms of generation of electricity and other things. And we're going to utilize our good, clean, beautiful coal and oil and gas. We have more than anybody of everything, and we're going to take advantage of it. And
the cleanest of coal. Some would say the best coal. $2 super chat from Dennis. Thank you very much. Thank you for the follows on Twitch, guys.
His confirmation, he got him through that process. And then he had
We got 800 people on YouTube, 17 on Twitch. Come on. I know some of you guys want to watch widescreen.
Outline what would or would not happen as far as Ukraine's membership in NATO goes. And then
I haven't heard that. I mean, Roger's a very good.
Here's the way I think about energy, right? So since we're trying to be competitive and we need a lot of energy now, I think that we should use all forms of energy. Coal, oil, nuclear, solar, wind, all of it. Any water, any way, thermal, any way that we can gather energy, we should be gathering it in all forms. If I was playing this like it's a real, like I'm playing Sid Meier's Civilization, and I am America, so I have an excess of like strategy points that I could be applying to things, right? Or research points or whatever. I'm going to be like, how about all the forms of energy gathering? Let's just do them all. That's the way I would do it. But that's, I mean, I'm not in charge. I'm not a super genius, bro. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it makes sense to me when I'm thinking of it like a video game. I'm like, we need energy. We need all the energy. Let's do all the methods of energy gathering that we can, while also investing in more methods of energy gathering. The sun being limited, I will say that. That's unlimited energy.
A friend of mine, and Peter's obviously, he's been doing a great job. I haven't heard. Let me look at. You tell me something. I have not heard about.
The question I had is, were you aware of what Secretary Hegseth was going to say in his speech at NATO?
Generally speaking, yeah.
Nuclear fusion. I'm all about it.
If
it makes sense.
I'll find out.
If it maths out, it pencils out, I'm good for it.
All forms of energy? Does that include
All
wind and
forms
solar?
of energy. Yep.
And
New
pipeline you
follower.
mentioned, sir, is that Constitution pipeline in New York?
Yes.
Can you? Is that the
I
project?
believe
that's
so,
gonna
right?
be-
Yeah,
New
that's what it
follower.
is. And they've been trying to get it for 20 years. And what it means is for New York, upstate New York, and even everywhere in New York, also other states, but in particular New England, that New England will now, I think, will cut the energy prices, and big cuts in New York too, but cut the energy prices literally in half. We have the permits. We have permits that just about everything we need a New York permit, and I would imagine they want to do because their energy prices will come down so far. And it's a lot of jobs for New York. It's a great thing for New York. Everybody wants it. We'll be meeting with the various governors, Governor of New York, and the other governors too. And we can have it built in about 9 months, and let's say 1 year, but we can actually have it built in pretty close to 9 months. It's all set. We have most of the permits, almost all of the permits.
And on just, you're prioritizing energy dominance today. You've also
Energy
prioritized
dominance,
trade
baby.
Balance. The oil industry is a little worried about the steel tariffs. I mean, they put 20,000 feet steel in the ground at a well. How will you balance that? Is there a possibility?
You're talking about steel and aluminum.
Indeed, steel tariffs.
So the steel, I saved the steel industry in my first term by putting on tariffs because China was dumping massive amounts of steel. Others also, but mostly China. And I put very substantial, we took in $600 billion worth of tariffs from China. No other president's taken up, literally haven't gotten 10 cents from China, not 10 cents. And hundreds of billions of dollars came in from China. And they understood it. They understood what I did. But
New follower.
the dumping stopped. And had I not done that, you wouldn't have one steel mill, I think I can say, not one steel mill operating in this country. And we need steel. We need steel. I mean, there are some things you
$5 super chat for Marcos. He's still around. He's still giving $5. Let's read what he has to say. It's great that you want to learn. My problem is that you've given him credit for shit he has not done because you don't understand politics. Well, I'm not going to give credit for things that I don't understand. Okay, and I'm not always going to get things correct. All I'm doing is looking at what's in front of me and listening to what's being said and digesting it, just like any normal person is. What else can we do other than look at this, digest it, and try and understand, right? I think that you saying that I'm giving credit for things that he hasn't done, name one. I think you just made that shit up. I think you just made that shit up because you got Trump derangement syndrome. Now you have Stan derangement syndrome. I never fucking gave him credit. Like, go back in the stream and find where I'm giving credit for something that he didn't do. Just saying. I'm just like, all I've said is that it feels like things are going good. I'm liking these guys. I feel like he's making some, like, he's competently looking at the global stage here and trying to position us into a good place. That's what it feels like to me. I don't fully understand this stuff, but that's what it feels like to me. That's what I'm seeing in front of me, in front of my eyes. I'm a normal person. I'm not a political expert. I'm a normal person. I'm normal. I'm a regular person looking at this stuff, trying to understand it. So just saying, I think that you got some like blinders on that are making you you're like, Trump bad, everything you say bad. This guy, I can't believe he's listening to Trump. Why are you listening to that guy? He has some sort of blah, 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 Russia, Russia, Russia. Bro, nobody's listening to that anymore. I'm looking at what's in front of me and digesting it. What's in front of me is what I'm seeing and what I'm interacting with and what we're all talking about. All right.
You have to have, and steel is one of them for military, etc. So,
but thanks for the $5.
I think steel is going to be very strong. It's going to be very strong. I think it'll go back to being really powerful. We saved it.
America's back, baby.
I mean, we were talking about U.S. Steel last week. U.S. Steel would have been closed, totally closed.
Okay, hold on. I got to comment on this too. I hope you're watching many sources of media, at least. We do that. I have a whole bunch of stuff stacked up, stuff from the left and the right, ready to look at when we're done with this. I have it ready to go. Yes, I have a super lefty dude that works for me that helps me look at both sides of things. All right. So I even have my own. You guys don't even realize it. I have a checks and balance dude in the back end that's super lefty that I'm running things by. I'm like, hey, what do you think about this stuff? How does this make you feel? What does this appear like to you? Okay. Like I'm actually literally like I'm working with lefty people. But here's the point I'm trying to make, right? What do you mean what source? This is a direct feed to the man himself. Nobody's telling me what to think. I'm not listening to the left or the right. I'm listening to this guy speak to me right now. That's what I'm doing. He's right here with no filter through anybody. I'm kind of a filter, but I'm not telling you guys what to think. I'm just looking at this and saying, here's what I think when I see this. This is what I'm feeling. And then I ask you guys, what are you guys feeling? Nobody's telling me what to think. I'm just watching this and I'm digesting it and figuring out what I believe and what I don't believe. That's it. I don't 100% believe everything Trump says. Dude, the guy is really good at saying what he needs to say so he can win. And I want him to be that way. You know, like if you're wanting Trump to be a 100% truthful all the time, then you're wanting a less competitive Trump.
We saved it. And now it's going to become, I think, very, very profitable. The tariffs are going to save a lot of industries.
Mr. President, U.S. Steel, can I just follow up on U.S. Steel just
go
very
ahead,
quickly,
finish
sir? If the Japanese company that's interested in U.S. Steel wants to take a minority stake as opposed to full ownership, is
A
that
minority stake I wouldn't mind greatly, but what they're doing right now is they're going to be investors, and they're going to be investing in, I think, debt and various other things. But we didn't want to let U.S. Steel go to a foreign company. U.S. Steel was the greatest company in the world for a period of 15 years. It was, it was the big deal.
Mr. Beast, don't let me eat Lunchables on my stream in front of everybody.
Psychologically,
don't let me do that.
We can't even think about letting that happen. But what is going to happen, and we've already seen it, you see it in the stock price, with the tariffs, U.S. Steel is going to be a real powerhouse again.
Mr. President, if I could just follow up on Jackie's question about Munich. Vice President Vance's speech to the conference has ruffled quite a few feathers in Europe.
What did he say to ruffle them? I don't know.
He was talking about the freedom of speech and migration in Europe. Do you believe that European leaders have a fundamentally different view of the world than this administration's?
Well, I heard his speech, and I tell you, you're talking about JD's speech, right?
Yes, sir.
I heard his speech, and he talked about freedom of speech, and I think it's true in Europe. It's losing. They're losing their
hardcore losing
wonderful right of freedom of speech. I see it.
And they don't even give a shit.
He made
the people don't even care.
Good speech, actually, a very brilliant speech.
They're happily giving it away.
Be careful.
There's some Palpatine shit going on over in Europe.
And Europe has a big immigration problem. Just take a look at what's happened with crime. Take a look at what's happening in various parts of Europe. I thought his speech was very well received, actually. I've heard very good remarks.
And in regards to Ukraine as well, yesterday you mentioned that you thought Ukraine's NATO aspirations were one of the main reasons that the war broke out. Who do you blame for the war, Ukraine or Russia?
Well, I think that there were a lot of people to blame. All I can say is very simply, if I were president, that war would never have happened. And you know what else wouldn't have happened? The Middle East wouldn't be all blown up, and October 7th wouldn't have happened either. Those two areas, you wouldn't have inflation, you wouldn't have...
Utter Demon says, if you like Trump, you should jump off a tall building. You know, I want you guys to keep saying shit like that because it makes people not listen to you anymore, and it just strengthens our side. So the more you say shit like that, and please continue to do that, the more you do that shit, the more it strengthens our resolve on our side, and more lefties actually become righties. Like more people voted for Trump this time around than people that didn't. That's for a reason. And it's because of you. You did that. You did that by being weird. $5 super chat from Casper says, good luck arguing with these people. All they have is hate. They don't even know what they... Bro, I'm doing it. Isn't it fun to watch me talk to them? Right? Like the one dude, he gave me like $15 just to talk shit. I think that's funny as fuck. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I think it's worth it because it's fun to watch. Right? So this guy right here, he says, if you don't like Trump, you should jump off a tall building. He's so like ridiculously like full of hatred. Right? And all it does is weaken his side. And he doesn't realize it. He says, kill yourself, Stan. Right? He doesn't realize when you say stuff like that, it makes me stronger. Now I'm using you for content and rallying people. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're just going to continue to always use it against you when you behave like that. That's what we're going to do. It strengthens our side. If you want to be competitive, you're going to need to knock that shit off. That's what I want to say. Otherwise, you're just going to continue to lose and we're going to beat you. We're just going to keep beating you.
Have October 7th, you wouldn't have Russia and Ukraine fighting.
Thank you, Skillfuls, for the prime.
None of those things would have happened if I were president.
Mr. President,
Yeah, please.
you mentioned auto tariffs the other day.
Yeah.
When do you plan to unroll?
Howard, I'd say over the next sometime, or maybe around April 2nd. I would have done them on April 1st. Believe it or not, I'm a little superstitious. No, literally, we had it planned for April 1st. I said, let's make it April 2nd. You know how much money that costs? That costs a lot of money just that one day, but we're going to do it on April 2nd, I think. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
The lead prosecutor in Eric Adams' case resigned today, saying anyone who didn't press forward would be a coward. What's your reaction to that and to the overall implication that politics were at play here?
Well, I don't know about it. I mean, obviously, I'm not involved in that. But I would say this, that if they had a problem, and these are mostly people from the previous administration, you understand, so they weren't going to be there anyway. They were going to all be gone or dismissed. If not, they know on Tuesday they're all being dismissed. You know, the whole country is being, because what you do is you come in and you put new people in. So when you say resign, they're going to be gone anyway. But I know nothing about the individual case. I know that they didn't feel it was much of a case. They also felt that...
$5 super chat from Ethan Roberts. He says, Biden achieved a 1% inflation, the lowest of any affected country by the pandemic, and got $35 insulin, which Trump cut. Deporting plus tariffs equals inflation. I think, deporting causes inflation. I don't necessarily think so. But I appreciate your comment. I think that there's definitely W's from the Biden team, whoever those mysterious fucking people are, but it's mostly L's. So I did hear about the $35 insulin being cut, and that sucks. And I would like to have that back. If there's a way to have that back, I would like to know the reasons. It's probably attached to more shit, and I'd like to see like what the fucking mathematics were of why that was cut. But I would like to see cheap insulin. And if we can get that back, if we can have cheaper insulin, that would be a good thing. I support that 100%.
It was unfair with the election. Look, I would know that better than anybody because I was weaponized more than any human being in the history probably of the world. And I won the election in a landslide, winning all 7 swing states, winning the popular vote and everything else because the people got it. It was weaponized. And I was weaponized literally weeks before the election. But I think there's also something to be said. I read that. There's something to be said for what they were doing. It looked to me to be very political. But why didn't they bring this up like 4 or 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, or whenever it happened? You know, they just sat around and didn't complain. Then all of a sudden they complain, and they know they're all being dismissed anyway. So, you know, that's the way it is. That's called politics, I guess.
Mr. President.
Yeah, please.
Earlier this week, you predicted that all hell would break loose if Hamas didn't hand over all of their hostages. What do you expect to happen tomorrow in terms of...
I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow at 12 o'clock. It was up to me. I'd take a very hard stance. I can't tell you what Israel's going to do. But I watched the last people come out, and I looked at a before and an after picture. One guy was a big, strong, healthy guy. Could say he was a little bit overweight. He's not overweight anymore. He looks like he just came out of the Holocaust. It looks like a Holocaust picture. I've looked at him for a long time. and they've been treated very badly. A young lady came out last week, her hand was blown off. I mean, literally, her hand was trying to stop a bullet that was headed for her face. She put up her hand. She goes like this and wiped out her fingers and a lot of her hand. Now, I would take a different stance, but it depends. Look, it depends what Bibi's going to do. It depends what Israel's going to do. But and now I understand they've totally changed. Hamas has totally changed. They want to release hostages now again. But you have to see, this started by them saying, we're not going to release the hostages as we said we were. I said, good. You have till 12 o'clock on Saturday, which is tomorrow at 12 o'clock to do it. And we didn't hear anything. Then all of a sudden, 2 days ago, they said, no, we've decided we're going to release the hostages. So, but I actually think they should release all of the hostages. Remember, they're probably as bad as they looked. I mean, I don't like to say that, but they looked real bad 4 days ago, 5 days ago when I saw them. And the young ladies that came out were treated really badly. You don't know what happened, but I do. They were treated really badly. But as bad as they look, the ones that follow probably will look a lot worse. I think they're sending out their most healthy. And they've been hit hard on that, Hamas. So they probably didn't want to release. But they changed their mind. I said 12 o'clock tomorrow, and all of a sudden, 2 days ago, yesterday, they said they're going back to releasing. But this all started by them saying, we are not going to release any more hostages. And then yesterday, they said they are going to release them.
Yeah, they're going to go back and forth the whole time.
I think they should release all of the hostages.
Yes, all of them. Do it. Avoid annihilation. Release the fucking hostages. Fuck.
It's a little bit short of the 5 to 10% goal you were hoping to hit. Do you think you'll have to make up the rest of that number in layoffs?
No, look, that's 75,000 more than we would have had, and nobody knows what that final number is, because in the end, I think a lot of people aren't going to show up to work. A lot of people, they got used to
I have to comment on this. It's so funny. Stan Price looks a little too Mexican for my liking. Send him to Gitmo. Bro, I do got me some, you know what? I do got some olive in me, you know? Do I get an impasse?
Working. But
since I'm a little, I got some olive skin, you know?
They have a lot of problems with it. No, 75,000 is a lot of people. And we paid them well. You know, we gave them a lot of months of severance pay, if you call it that. But no, I think you'll probably have some more, too, in addition. It's a big, tremendous saving for a guy.
I got to drink less beer, dude. I'm getting too fat. I need to cut out all alcohol.
But
this is a LaCroix.
So, can I ask about the UK? I understand that you had a phone call with Keir Starmer yesterday.
I did. I just signed a letter to him. He asked for a meeting, and I agreed to the meeting. We're going to have a friendly meeting. Very good. We have a lot of good things going on. But he asked to come and see me, and I just accepted his asking.
Brown pass. Thank you. Yeah, I get a brown pass. Let's go.
I think he wants to come next week or the week after.
It's the native in me.
It was his request, not mine. But, you know, I met him twice already. We get along very well. He's a very nice guy. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Dude, this guy streams every day for us.
Extended playback there inside of the Oval Office.
Trump is streaming every single day for us. He goes live, like he sits here for like, all these guys are all standing there. He's sitting and it's for like an hour. And it's been basically every single day. He comes in here and he talks for an hour and tells us what he's trying to do. Now, I know there's a lot of people, they don't like Trump. They don't agree with what he's doing. And that's fine. I'm not trying to tell you what to think or anything whatsoever. I don't care. Think whatever you want. All I'm saying is that I appreciate that somebody is talking to us. And the person talking to us is the guy. After 4 years of like, where the hell is our government and where's our leader, right? Where's the guy that everyone voted for? Where is he? It's just nice if it's like maybe it's a honeymoon stage vibe right now that I'm having. Maybe that's what I'm feeling. You know, because I'm just like, finally, like he's somebody to tell us what's going on again. But you know, maybe that's what I'm feeling. But it's just really nice to. I feel like he's telling us what his agenda is. I believe he is being truthful when he's saying these are the things that we're trying to accomplish. We want to invest heavily in AI, so we need more energy. In order to get more energy, these are our methods that we're going to try and achieve that. I believe these things. I believe those things. I think where people need to. I think there's a lot of people that just won't believe anything that Trump is saying, and I understand. All right, I get it. He's a politician. Like, don't believe any of them. You know what I mean? But I think that if we can measure what he's saying and then compare and see, like, oh shit, like these are the actions of Team America are going towards these things that Trump are saying, and if like we're actively going in that direction, then I think it's safe to say that Trump is actually pursuing the things that he said he's going to try and do. At that point, you decide, do you agree with those things or not? Instead of just blindly saying he's lying about everything, because I've seen a lot of lefties do this. They don't even realize what Trump is doing. They've completely shut him off. Like, I'll see a lot of them, they pop in the chat like, why are you watching this guy? Why are you even listening to him? And it's like, well, because he's telling us like what the plan is. You know, I'm trying to follow along with what the plan is, and then I want to see if they actually do what he says what the plan is. I'm just curious. Like, he's saying these are the things that he's going to do, so I'm going to watch and see if he does them. That sounds so logical and reasonable to me, but it's like, it's not allowed for some people. Some people, the way they see it, that's not allowed. It's crazy. That's wrong. That's the wrong way to do it. It's wrong to try and see, okay, what is he saying that he's going to do? Do I, first of all, understand that? If I don't, then let's ask some questions so we can try and understand it better. That's what I've been doing. So there's a lot of things that they're talking about and discussing, and it's my first time experiencing a lot of these things because I've never looked into it before. So, and then when I don't understand, I'll stop. I'll even ask the chat, like, what is, you know, like yesterday, I didn't know what BRICS was. And I've learned that for like 10 years now, there's been a collection of nations that are actively working together to be exceptionally competitive with America, as they should. They should be looking out for themselves. But I'm glad I'm aware that exists now. It makes me realize just how important our global position is, you know? So I thought you were smart. I think it's smart to not know something and then pursue the answer. That's literally intelligence. Guess you're going to unsub, whatever. You were going to unsub either way. It's fine. I will get more subs. You can go ahead, Richard, go and sub. I'll get it. I'll get more subs. Don't worry. I'll be fine. Whatever. That's so funny. You're allowed to support whoever you want to support because this is America, bud. That's what this country was fucking founded on, bro. That's what I'm talking about, Michael. That's what I'm talking about. You just gained one. Thanks, Hunter. There we go. Yeah, it's good. I like how people try and like hold this sub hostage. You know, it's like, bro, just do whatever you want to do, man. If you're entertained and you want to watch, you can watch subbed or unsubbed. If you hate it, and you don't want to watch, you can just not watch. I don't mind. It's okay. We got to follow ICBM13. Thanks for the follow on Twitch. What are you laughing at? What's funny? Oh. Huh? Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, counter subs. Yeah, bro, it's sub warfare. You know, it's a battle. I'm not trying to tell nobody not once have I told anybody what to think. I did tell someone to shut up, so I can't say I don't tell nobody what to do. I did tell someone to shut up because they were being retarded. They said, I forgot. It was something. One thing somebody said that was really stupid was like, "Don't bring manufacturing to Texas," and I'm just like, "What are you talking about? Wait, that you want that in Texas? That would be good for Texas." Sentinel, thanks for the follow. There we go. I only got alerts for Twitch, so if you want the alerts, then you got to do Twitch. But I am watching the YouTube chat. Okay, we got another thing to check out. So that was Trump signing executive orders. I want to see if there's anything new going on. Let's see here. He does that every day. A new follower. I don't know if he does it on the weekends or not. I'll have to see. It's Dizzy. Let's go. All right, so there's just a bunch of other stuff that we're going to skip. Now I have this was earlier today. JD Vance gave remarks in Germany, in Munich, security conference. I believe that this is going to be, again, more about AI and deregulating it, because the agenda of America currently is to be the leader in AI, and there's other, China is making massive advancements, and we're trying to be competitive with them. So, and we need cooperation from European countries to deregulate a lot of AI shit so we can move forward faster and be competitive with China, because they don't fuck around with regulations, bro. They will unregulate anything they need so they can move fast. We got a $5 super chat a while ago from James. Thank you very much. Sorry, I didn't read that out loud. And we just got another $5 super chat from Zethra. This is leftist Europe is falling apart by the second, and the right-winged America actually gives me hope for maybe some sort of change. I think that right-wing Trump is infecting the world right now in a good way. And maybe some people are going to utilize that for not so good things, but I think generally it's a good thing. I think that the right is the party of logic and common sense right now, and like people are starting to see that. It is so like the lefties are getting so absurd that the lefties are like getting tired of their own fucking side. They're getting tired of their own side. Like they're rolling their eyes so hard at their own side. And they're like, "Oh my God, dude, why are Democrats so stupid?" The lefties are getting so frustrated with their own side, and they're against their original like worldview. They're siding with righties because we're the side of the most logic and common sense currently. Hopefully, we can keep it that way. Hopefully, we can do that. The righties are making more sense. I think at one point the righties made less sense than they do now, and that was pre-Trump. Ever since Trump basically rebirthed the Republican Party, it's been reborn with way more logic, and it's only making sense. So the only thing we need now too is results. So we need Trump to continue to do his thing. Results are going to be the ultimate determination for everybody. All right, everyone that matters, results. If Trump gets results, and it looks like that's things are looking up, but we still got to wait and see. We get results from Trump, that's locked in. More countries will start adopting this stuff, and they're going to stop being retarded and doing things to their own country that's holding them back and making them not be competitive in the global stage. Like a lot of the countries in Europe, they mean well. They're trying to do the right thing. They're trying to be polite and nice to people and all that kind of stuff. I get it, but you still have to be competitive, or someone's going to come and yoink your shit. All right, I said this yesterday's stream. I'm going to say it again today. It's going back. Like, it's never stopped, okay? Let's go back thousands of years. We're hunters and gatherers, okay? And we got like 12 of us in our little group, and we got a deer or something, and we're eating that shit. We're eating good tonight. Bro, there's another group of 12, and they're fucking hungry, dude. And they're going to come and kill us and take our fucking deer. We can mean well and want the best for everyone and want peace and shit like that, but someone's going to come and try and take your fucking shit. That's the way it goes. European countries are not competitive, and they're just getting absolutely wrecked economically. And they're making decisions that are just holding them back. And like China is running circles around them. So I think that, and they're running circles around us in a lot of ways too. So that's why I'm pro reducing regulation to be competitive in the world industry, or else we're gonna get passed up. And in the show Firefly, all the spaceships in space are gonna have fucking Chinese on them, bro. We want American words on the spaceships in space in the next fucking several hundred years. That's what we want, not Chinese.
Mr. J.D. Vance, who
$5 super chat from WZDO, Wizard of Oz says, didn't know you're pretty based. Going Timcast. You know, maybe I like it depending on how far I get into this kind of shit, bro. Like maybe, but I'm just trying to like kind of do my own thing and just be a normal person looking at this stuff. I'm not trying to be a big political commentator necessarily. I'm just trying to understand this stuff, and you guys can watch me try and figure it out. That's kind of what I'm doing, and I'm just trying to keep it real. Did you hear about Jacob Barber whistleblower on UAP? No, $5 super chat from T. I did not hear about that. I'll write that one down. Hold on. Jacob Barber. There we go. Got it. Thank you very much for the $5. $5 super chat from Ethan Roberts says, left play too much identity politics, but it don't change that Trump is corrupt. Pardon the January 6ers, cutting government agencies that regulate stuff like that. I understand how you feel. Yeah, identity politics are making people just leave the left hardcore. It's so absurd. It's ridiculous. Like, I try and give advice to the left all the time and be like, bro, you guys need to drop that baggage so you can be more competitive with the righties, or else we're just going to keep steamrolling. You know, we're going to keep steamrolling. I want the lefties to be more competitive. The more competitive the lefties are, the better that we're going to do. Competition is good. We need the competition. If we just steamroll, then it's not gonna be good for us. $2 super chat from Jan says you need to look at Switzerland. That's a very homogenous society, and they are doing fantastic. The homogenous societies where everyone thinks the same tend to do pretty good. I'm centrist, but I'm turning more right. Yeah, I think a lot of people are. It's just because it's the side of more making sense right now. It's going to be a pendulum over the many years, but right now the right is making the most sense. It's the most common sense, most logical.
Was here last.
Swift says, if you're interested in UFO UAP shit, that might be the only thing I'm more into than politics. I love that shit, and I bet that my political channel is going to be the best channel for that. Every time I make anything about aliens and I put it on my main YouTube channel, my biggest one, it always tanks. They just want to laugh at shit. They don't want to talk about aliens. That is a comedy channel. So that's why I brought all this politics stuff over here to this new channel, because my main people on my main channel don't vibe with that shit, and I've always stayed away from politics on that channel. But over here, I'm allowed to do that. So I can have them be separated. So people are like, oh man, I miss the way you used to do things. Like, bro, that channel exists and the politics aren't allowed over there. I don't, you know. But anyways, here we go. Let's watch this.
Senator, and we are very happy that he has come back to Munich, and we are very much looking forward to his speech. Please welcome Vice President J.D. Vance.
Let's go, J.D. Vance. Talk to us, baby. I like this guy.
Well, thank you, and thanks.
The first time I saw J.D. Vance, I was like, dude, this guy looks kind of weird. Like his face, I don't know. I'm looking at his face, and I'm judgy, and I'm just looking at his face. And I'm like, I don't like your face. But then the moment I started hearing him speak, I'm like, I love this guy. The moment words came out of his mouth, I liked the guy.
To all the gathered delegates and luminaries and media professionals, and thanks.
Mike, it's okay. You can laugh and disagree, bro. I don't mind. It's all good.
Being able to put on such an incredible.
I want you.
Event.
If you feel that way,
just
just
thrilled to be here.
Feel that way.
We're happy to be here, and you know, one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is, of course, our shared values. And you know, it's great to be back in Germany. As you heard earlier, I was here last year as United States Senator. I saw Foreign Secretary David Lammy, and joked that both of us last year had different jobs than we have now. But now it's time for all of our countries, for all of those who have been fortunate enough to be given political power by our respective peoples, to use it wisely to improve their lives. And
Simplify AGS.
That, you know, I was fortunate in my time here to spend some time outside
the House. What's up, Devil Nuts?
Over the last 24 hours. And I've been so impressed by the hospitality of the people, even as, of course, as they're reeling from yesterday's horrendous attack. And the first time I was ever in Munich was with my wife, actually, who's here with me today.
My left or right wing? I'm mostly right, but I have some lefty
Munich,
ideas.
I've always loved its people. And I just want to say that we're very moved, and our thoughts and prayers are with Munich.
I love Elmo Musk. He's my favorite.
Inflicted on this beautiful community. We're thinking about you. We're praying for you. And we will certainly be rooting for you in the days and weeks to come. Now,
how do you say? I know how to say no in German. How do you say yes?
Bit of applause that I get, but we gather at this conference, of course, to discuss security, and normally we mean threats to our external security. I see many great military leaders gathered here today. But while the Trump administration is very concerned with European security and believes that we can come to a reasonable settlement between Russia and Ukraine, and we also believe that it's important in the coming years for Europe to step up in a big way to provide for its own defense, the threat that I worry the most about vis-a-vis Europe is not Russia, it's not China, it's not any other external actor.
Schwift, say something in chat.
What I worry about is the threat from within.
Say anything.
The retreat of Europe from some of its most fundamental values shared with the United States of America. Now, I was struck that a former European commissioner went on television recently and sounded delighted that the Romanian government had just annulled an entire election. He warned that if things don't go to plan, the very same thing could happen in Germany, too. Now, these cavalier statements are shocking to American ears. For years, We've been told that everything we fund and support is in the name of our shared democratic values. Everything from our Ukraine policy to digital censorship is billed as a defense of democracy. But when we see European courts canceling elections and senior officials threatening to cancel others, we ought to ask whether we're holding ourselves to an appropriately high standard. And I say ourselves because I fundamentally believe that we are on the same team. We must do more than talk about democratic values, we must live them. Now, within living memory of many of you in this room, the Cold War positioned defenders of democracy against much more tyrannical forces on this continent. And consider the side in that fight that censored dissidents, that closed churches, that canceled elections. Were they the good guys? Certainly not. And thank God they lost the Cold War. They lost because they neither valued nor respected all of the extraordinary blessings of liberty. The freedom to surprise, to make mistakes, to invent, to build. As it turns out, you can't mandate innovation or creativity, just as you can't force people what to think, what to feel, or what to believe.
Facts.
And we believe those things are certainly connected.
Yeah, facts, dude.
And unfortunately,
this
when I
guy's
look
such
at
a good
Europe
speaker.
today, it's sometimes
Damn,
not so
look at all
clear
this military
what
guys.
happened to some of the Cold War's winners. I look to Brussels, where EU commissars warn citizens that they intend to shut down social media during times of civil unrest the moment they spot what they've judged to be, quote, hateful content. Or to this very country, where police have carried out raids against citizens suspected of posting anti-feminist comments online as part of, quote, combating misogyny on the internet, a day of action. I look to Sweden, where 2 weeks ago the government convicted a Christian activist for participating in Koran burnings that resulted in his friend's murder. And as the judge in his case chillingly noted, Sweden's laws to supposedly protect free expression do not, in fact, grant, and I'm quoting, a free pass to do or say anything without risking offending the group that holds that belief. And perhaps most concerningly, I look to our very dear friends, the United Kingdom, where the backslide away from conscience rights has placed the basic liberties of religious Britons in particular in the crosshairs. A little over 2 years ago, the British government charged Adam Smith Connor, a 51-year-old physiotherapist and an Army veteran, with the heinous crime of standing 50 meters from an abortion clinic and silently praying for 3 minutes. Not obstructing anyone, not interacting with anyone, just silently praying on his own. And after British law enforcement spotted him and demanded to know what he was praying for, Adam replied simply, it was on behalf of the unborn son he and his former girlfriend had aborted years before.
Yeah, great speaker,
now, the
Dennis.
officers were not moved. Adam was found guilty of breaking the government's new buffer zones law, which criminalizes silent prayer and other actions that could influence a person's decision within 200 meters of an abortion facility. He was sentenced to pay thousands of pounds in legal costs to the prosecution. Now, I wish I could say that this was a fluke, a one-off crazy example of a badly written law being enacted against a single person. But no, this last October, just a few months ago, the Scottish government began distributing letters to citizens whose houses lay within so-called safe access zones, warning them that even private prayer within their own homes may amount to breaking the law. Naturally, the government urged readers to report any fellow citizens suspected guilty of thought crime. In Britain and across Europe, free speech, I fear, is in retreat. And in the interest of comedy, my friends, but also in the interest of truth, I will admit that sometimes the loudest voices for censorship have come not from within Europe, but from within my own country.
Yeah, it's
where the
crazy.
prior administration threatened and bullied social media companies to censor so-called misinformation. Misinformation like, for example,
Information
the
police.
idea that coronavirus had likely leaked from a laboratory in China. Our own government encouraged private companies to silence people who dared to utter
That's
what turned
true
out to
and
be
wild.
an obvious truth.
That's crazy, right?
So I come here today not just with an observation, but with an offer. And just as the Biden
1984,
administration seemed
facts.
desperate to silence people
Crazy.
for speaking their minds, so the Trump administration will do precisely the opposite, and I hope that we can work together on that. In Washington, there is a new sheriff in town, and under Donald Trump's leadership, we may disagree with your views, but we will fight to defend your right to offer it in the public square, agree or disagree.
Fuck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what we're doing in my chat right now. That's why I let all the lefties be here and say whatever the fuck they want, as long as they're not calling for fucking death threats.
Of course, that the situation has gotten so bad that this December,
exactly the same thing we're doing here.
Romania straight up canceled the results of a presidential election based on the flimsy suspicions of an intelligence agency and enormous pressure from its continental neighbors. Now, as I understand it, the argument was that Russian disinformation had infected the Romanian elections. But I'd ask my European friends to have
There's a
some
new
perspective.
sheriff in town.
You can believe it's wrong for Russia to buy social media advertisements to influence your elections. We certainly do. You can condemn it on the world stage even. But if your democracy can be destroyed with a few $100,000 of digital advertising from a foreign country, then it wasn't very strong to begin with. Now, the good news is that I happen to think your democracies are substantially less brittle than many people apparently fear. And I really do believe that allowing our citizens to speak their mind will make them stronger still. Which, of course, brings us back to Munich, where the organizers of this very conference have banned lawmakers representing populist parties on both the left and the right from participating in these conversations. Now, again, we don't have to agree with everything or anything that people say. But when people represent, when political leaders represent an important constituency, it is incumbent upon us to at least participate in dialogue with them. Now, to many of us on the other side of the Atlantic, it looks more and more like old entrenched interests hiding behind ugly Soviet-era words like misinformation and disinformation, who simply don't like the idea that somebody with an alternative viewpoint might express a different opinion or, God forbid, vote a different way.
Bro.
Or, even worse,
thank you, JD Vance.
win
Jesus Christ,
an
dude.
election.
I feel so happy somebody's saying this, finally.
And I'm sure you all came here prepared to talk
This is such
about how
obvious
exactly
common
you intend
sense
to
stuff.
increase defense spending over the next
Jesus.
few years in line with some new target. And that's great. Because as President Trump has made abundantly clear, he believes that our European friends must play a bigger role in the future of this continent. We don't think, you hear this term, burden sharing, but we think it's an important part of being in a shared alliance together that the Europeans step up while America focuses on areas of the world that are in great danger. But let me also ask you, how will you even begin to think through the kinds of budgeting questions if we don't know what it is that we're defending in the first place? I've heard a lot already in my conversations, and I've had many, many great conversations with many people gathered here in this room. I've heard a lot about what you need to defend yourselves from, and of course that's important. But what has seemed a little bit less clear to me, and certainly I think to many of the citizens of Europe, is what exactly it is that you're defending yourselves for. What is the positive vision that animates this shared security compact that we all believe is so important? And I believe deeply that there is no security if you are afraid of the voices, the opinions, and the conscience that guide your very own people. Europe faces many challenges, but the crisis this continent faces right now, the crisis I believe we all face together, is one of our own making. If you're running in fear of your own voters, there is nothing America can do for you. Nor, for that matter, is there anything that you can do for the American people who elected me and elected President Trump. You need democratic mandates to accomplish anything of value in the coming years. Have we learned nothing that thin mandates produce unstable results? But there is so much of value that can be accomplished with the kind of democratic mandate that I think will come from being more responsive to the voices of your citizens. If you're going to enjoy competitive economies, if you're going to enjoy affordable energy and secure supply chains, then you need mandates to govern, because you have to make difficult choices to enjoy all of these things. And of course, we know that very well in America. You cannot win a democratic mandate by censoring your opponents or putting them in jail, whether that's the leader of the opposition, a humble Christian praying in her own home, or a journalist trying to report the news. Nor can you win one by disregarding your basic electorate on questions like who gets to be a part of our shared society. And of all the pressing challenges that the nations represented here face, I believe there is nothing more urgent than mass migration. Today, almost 1 in 5 people living in this country moved here from abroad. That is, of course, an all-time high. It's a similar number, by the way, in the United States, also an all-time high. The number of immigrants who
I'd vote for JD Vance too.
From non-EU
I like this guy a lot.
Doubled
I'd
between
100% vote for this guy.
and 2022 alone, and of course, it's gotten much higher since. And we know the situation, it didn't materialize in a vacuum. It's the result of a series of conscious decisions made by politicians all over the continent and others across
You let
the
too many of
world
the snowflake.
over
Okay,
the
hold on a
span of
second.
decade.
Bro, JD Vance is literally talking about freedom of speech right now, and you're telling me to censor the snowflakes. Bro, the lefties, that would be so hypocritical. I'm sitting here like, fuck yeah, I'd vote for this guy. I like what he's talking about with freedom of speech. Let people speak, even if you completely fundamentally disagree with what they're saying. Let them speak anyways. Even if they're being a fucking asshole, let them speak anyways. Right? I'm like agreeing with this. Why would I go and then just ban the lefties from the chat? Let them be lefties in the chat. Let them be snowflakes or whatever they want to do. Let them say what they want. You guys have to talk to each other. This is it. I'm not going to do that in this chat. While JD Vance is talking about freedom of speech and trying to get Europe to pull their fucking head out of their ass and let their people say what they fucking want, because there's so censorship over there. It's crazy. The people don't even realize what they've lost. They're born into it.
We saw the horrors wrought by these decisions yesterday in this very city. And of course, I can't bring it up again without thinking about the terrible victims who had a beautiful winter day in Munich ruined. Our thoughts and prayers are with them and will remain with them. But why did this happen in the first place? It's a terrible story, but it's one we've heard way too many times in Europe and unfortunately too many times in the United States as well. An asylum seeker, often a young man in his mid-20s, already known to police, rams a car into a crowd and shatters a community. How many times must we suffer these appalling setbacks before we change course and take our shared civilization in a new direction? No voter on this continent went to the ballot box to open the floodgates to millions of unvetted immigrants. But you know what they did vote for? In England, they voted for Brexit, and agree or disagree, they voted for it. And more all over Europe, they're voting for political leaders who promise to put an end to out-of-control migration. Now, I happen to agree with a lot of these concerns, but you don't have to agree with me. I just think that people care about their homes, they care about their dreams, they care about their safety and their capacity to provide for themselves and their children. And they're smart. I think this is one of the most important things I've learned in my brief time in politics. Contrary to what you might hear a couple mountains over in Davos, the citizens of all of our nations don't generally think of themselves as educated animals or as interchangeable cogs of a global economy. And it's hardly surprising that they don't want to be shuffled about or relentlessly ignored by their leaders. And it is the business of democracy to adjudicate these big questions at the ballot box. I believe that dismissing people, dismissing their concerns, or worse yet, shutting down media, shutting down elections, or shutting people out of the political process protects nothing. In fact, it is the most surefire way to destroy democracy. And speaking up and expressing opinions isn't election interference. even when people express views outside your own country, and even when those people are very influential. And trust me, I say this with all humor. If American democracy can survive 10 years of Greta Thunberg's scolding, you guys can survive a few months of Elon Musk. But what German democracy, what no democracy, American, German, or European will survive is telling millions of voters that their thoughts and concerns, their aspirations, their pleas for relief are invalid or unworthy of even being considered.
Oh my God.
Democracy rests on the sacred principle that the voice of the people matters. There's no room for firewalls. You either uphold the principle or you don't. Europeans, the people, have a voice. European leaders have a choice. And my strong belief is that we do not need to be afraid of the future.
That was so good.
You can embrace what your people
I want to
tell
save
you,
that forever.
even when it's surprising, even when you don't agree. And if you do so, you can face the future with certainty and with confidence, knowing that the nation stands behind each of you. And that, to me, is the great magic of democracy. It's not in these stone buildings or beautiful hotels. It's not even in the great institutions that we have built together as a shared society. To believe in democracy is to understand that each of our citizens has wisdom and has a voice. And if we refuse to listen to that voice, even our most successful fights will secure very little. As Pope John Paul II, in my view, one of the most extraordinary champions of democracy on this continent or any other, once said, "Do not be afraid." We shouldn't be afraid of our people, even when they express views that disagree with their leadership. Thank you all. Good luck to all of you. God bless you.
That was an amazing speech. I'm wondering, did that guy have like something to read, or did he just remember all that shit? You know, like I've been streaming a lot of years. I would never be able to give a speech like that. That's crazy. That guy's really good at speaking. He's very impressive. Like I said, like I was always looking at his eyes, and I was like, "What the fuck's up with this guy's eyes?" Right? And then he just has dark eyelashes, but it's my judgy ass brain looking at his face, and I'm like, "Who is this guy?" And then he started talking, and then I was like, "I love this guy. He's great. He's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic." So I have a little something special for you guys on the other end. This is a city council with a bunch of just crazy, wacky people. Let's see what they say.
In favor of my city becoming a sanctuary city for people like me. I speak as both the B and the T in the LGBT. I speak as someone who is always misgendered, like all the time.
All the time.
People
what the
refer
fuck?
to me
this
as
is real?
sir when I prefer to be referred to as ma'am.
Right? Is this a real person or a troll? Like that? This seems like this is the way. This seems like somebody that wanted to go make fun of somebody that's trans or whatever would act to make fun of them. But I think this is unironically a trans person.
To be referred to as ma'am.
Right now in our country, Trump is threatening the trans and gender diverse community. He is using policy to take away protections. He is making it hard for trans people to renew passports, to get the care they need. He is trying to erase us.
I want you to know that I do not want to be here. It's my day off. I do not want to be in your DMs. I do not want to be in your email inboxes. I do not.
Yeah, you do. That's why you're there. What the fuck? This is crazy. Bro, these people are making like normal trans people, they're hurting it. They're not helping. This is not helping just the normal trans people. These are the fucking crazy trans people. Every group of people has their crazy fucking people. Even us on the right, we got our crazy fucking people too. These are the trans crazy people. These aren't the normal trans people.
Want my creativity writing diss tracks like Kendrick. I don't want to spend an hour applying glitter.
Yeah, you do.
On my face
yes, you
so
do.
that you will hear and see me.
Oh my God.
To those claiming that making Worcester a sanctuary city could risk federal funding,
She's like the normal one in the group. Probably not normal at all, but compared to the group, probably the normal one in the group.
Fear mongering. If you think you're
Oh my
afraid
God.
of Trump, you should see how afraid of Trump I am.
You're wearing gloves. Oh my God. Bro, this person is going to be sad their entire life. They'll never work on it. It's always going to be like Trump's fault that she's sad. That's crazy, dude. Think about it. She's just going to be fucking sad and depressed and just emotional and have lack of self-control for the rest of her life. That she's gone. It's over. And that's stupid, you know? Like this, and it doesn't have to be. Like there's another universe where this is a happy person. You know? Like the Marvel universes, right? Like in another Marvel universe, she's fucking happy. And everything else is the same. She's the only thing that's different and she's happy.
Wrap up, please.
Yes, I can. If you say that you're afraid of Trump,
$5 super chat from Sergey correcting me. Says this isn't normal trans crazy. This is advanced trans crazy. Bro, yeah, every group has their crazies, and these ones, they're not making trans people look good, man. And like, just understand that this isn't like there's normal fucking trans people. These are not them. Okay. Don't be blinded like a lot of the lefties are, right? They'll see like one racist dude and then be like, all righties are racist, right? Like, just realize like not all the trans people are like this.
Trump, and that's why you don't.
A lot of them are secretly righties. They just can't say anything. A lot of trans people are logical human beings and they're righties and they can't say anything and they ain't like this.
Want the city to be a safe space for trans people, you better prepare for trans people to make this a very unsafe space.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Can you look at me and tell me how many of my friends need to die before you do anything?
Please wrap up.
Look at me.
Oh my God, bro. They see you're. This person's gonna be angry their whole life.
A new follower.
Okay, we're all done here.
Fucking pathetic.
No, we're all done. Come on.
It's an outburst. Oh my
I ask you all, family, may we pick up our bricks? Because we will not go down without every silent cis straight person waking up and seeing the blood on their hands.
I use the pronoun she and her,
Okay.
and I am disabled, cisgender lesbian.
Nobody asked.
The Jesus that I know would be right here in this gallery, lined up to speak during this public comment, standing in solidarity with the brave people here. The Jesus I know would be dressed in full drag and serving face, or wrapped in the garb of a non-binary person who knows one gender is way too small to capture their gloriousness.
I'm trying,
I
bro.
cannot overstate
I'm
that the
losing
United
it.
States is
I'm
rapidly
trying.
sliding into fascism,
Ugh.
and conceding because we are scared of the repercussions validates and allows fascism to continue.
How many lives have to be lost before you consider fighting back against fascism and corruption?
Bro, it's not like people are going out murdering trans people, bro. It's because you guys are sad and you need to work on being less sad. The less sad you are, the better.
You have the opportunity to stand up to violence and fascism that is spreading all over our country like wildfire.
I am agender, and I use they, them pronouns.
Nobody asked.
They, them as a singular pronoun
Nobody asked.
has been in use since the 14th century. No one in this room is as old as the 14th century, so I'm going to ask for some adaptation. I invite every member through the chair of City Council to come to my queer studies classroom at.
Let me make something really clear. We need to be glad that this is happening. Okay, there's you on YouTube up above me, on Twitch, or on YouTube VOD, right? Not the live stream, right? There it is. Thank you guys for being like this. This makes people more righty. The result of this is people going, you guys are fucking weird.
at Worcester State University. You are all welcome every time, but be aware that you are a guest in my house when you come. And when you come, know that there are strong queer and trans people in my classroom who will collect you with the quickness.
You know how they say like CNN is the reason why Trump got elected, because like they kept just broadcasting everything that he was saying that in 2015, and then everyone voted for him and then he became the president in 2016. You know how they say that? Like because they showed Trump so much, now everyone could hear what he had to say, right? I think that kind of like a similar effect is happening here. By allowing everyone to hear what these people have to say, they're like, these people are fucking whack. Okay? So it's like a good thing that it exists. The more, like, let them continue to just be absolutely fucking obnoxiously ridiculous and think that everyone is Nazis. And the more they want to do that, the less support they're going to get from the Nazi shit. Like, they're bleeding support because of shit like this. The left is so annoyed with themselves. They're bleeding support. Right? So as righties, this is good for us because this brings more support our way. Like, this is like repulsive to their side.
If you speak out of turn.
The reason that Worcester needs to be a safe space for trans people is because I can't go home where I can't work, I don't qualify for disability, I can't drive because I'm narcoleptic, and my family doesn't support me because I'm trans, and then come to a city council that won't listen to my voice.
Bro, you're literally fucking talking right now. They're letting all of you fucking crazy bastards talk. Like, you're literally, this is why no one will listen. You're being allowed to speak. We're listening. We're all listening. You're allowed to speak. I'm hearing you out. Nobody's stopping you. You feel unsafe because you're unreasonably scared at all times. What's it called when someone? You have compulsive fear. These are mental issues that need to be worked on. You could be less afraid of this world and still exist. Believe it or not. You're allowed to speak. We're hearing you out now.
To me because no one else will.
How much for one trans life? How many dollars does it take to put them on the chopping block? I want a precise number. I want a dollar amount. And who next? Who's the next protected group to be tied to the railroad tracks? And will you fold for them? Now is the time.
These guys are like acting like the whole world is like all trans need to kill themselves. Like, nobody's saying that. Nobody's like advocating for that. Nobody wants that. This is what they want. They want to see the rest of the world as like hurting them. Bro, it's not happening. That's not the way we're seeing it, dude. Literally, I'd rather just leave you the fuck alone.
Stand up for tyranny.
You can make all the rules and whatever you want, but you cannot change nature.
Okay.
Yeah,
did you practice that in the mirror?
Okay. No.
Will you eat from a trans? I have a trans friend that I talk to every single day. She gives me a ton of my news. She gives me a ton of righty news. She's righty as fuck, dude. I have a trans friend I talk to every single day. She's righty as fuck. She's the head of Drama Alert on Twitter. They get 1 billion impressions a month. That is a super righty ass category. Guess who runs it? A trans person. I talk to her every single day.
That's all. Thank you.
This is crazy. Yeah. It's like, seriously, I mean, these are not a good representation of real life actual trans people existing in America and the world. These are the craziest ones. And what's most important to them is not trans rights. It's complaining and fighting. That's what they need more than anything. It's kind of like the people on Facebook where like their whole entire life is just arguing politics with people at all times. And they will sit there and go back and forth and on one comment section for fucking days with the same person. You go in those threads and you see these people, they've been going back and forth for fucking days. Right? weeks, months, and it's their entire fucking life. And the fight is more important than their own politics. The fight is more important than their own politics. That's what these people are. The fight is more important to them being, you know, and then after this, they're going to go have a bunch of drinks and have a good time, and as if they just saved the fucking world. Okay? They're in La La Land. These are not your average trans people. These are the weird ones. Bing bong. What? Is that crazy? Is that too far? Am I going too far? I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to like filter myself here. Is that too far? Okay. I think it's honest. I think it's fair too. You know? I think it'd be unfair to say, see, all trans people are fucking crazy. That would be unfair. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep saying what I think. I genuinely, in my bones, in my soul, in my being, believe in leaving people alone and letting them live their lives. These people aren't hurting anybody. They're just annoying. We can watch it and laugh, but they're not hurting anybody. These people are all going to be sad and angry for the rest of their lives, and that's a goddamn shame, in my opinion. They don't have to be. They could make different choices for themselves, but I don't think that it's going to happen. I think that they're just going to be angry and fight this fight their whole life, and then they're going to live and die feeling like they were oppressed when they never were. That's what I think. Next subject. What do we have here? I have a bunch of other things. Oh, teacher has a political meltdown over Trump. All right, we'll see. I have not watched this. I don't know. This comes from Swift. We'll see what he says. Let's see what it's a crash out. Let's watch it.
And the only thing that bothers me more than him is all the Republican senators and congressmen who just keep going along with it.
This Snapchat filter is hilarious.
You gotta know they don't believe in it. They don't believe in any of it. They're just afraid that he's gonna talk smack about them on Truth Social, and then they're gonna lose their job in an election. So they're just doing whatever he says, which is the worst possible thing, because that's cult and dictatorship. Jesus Christ, you don't see that?
Oh my God.
I'm not kidding when I say wipe that smile off.
Dude, this is in a classroom.
I don't care if that's a detention. I just wrote you a referral mentally. You're going to detention for bringing up politics in class.
What?
You want to go for two? Control yourself, man. Yo. Excuse me? Excuse me? After all I put up with you for the last 2 years and talked you up and stood your back when they ripped you. You what? You say what?
Oh my God.
What?
Oh my God.
Are you serious?
Oh my.
Treating me with that disrespect? Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? If I could take back your letter of recommendation from college right now, I would.
Oh my God.
You talk to me like that? After everything I've done for you?
Bro, this.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, bro. Dude, that's. Oh my God. That's so bad.
No detention. Don't ever talk to me again personally.
Oh my.
You can ask questions in class.
Oh
you
my.
Say anything in class without raising your hand, you go to detention for a week from now on.
Oh my God, that's so bad.
Disrespect me like that?
Oh.
You got your letter, so now everything's good, right?
Oh,
you got
God.
your high grade on the midterm, so everything's good. Now you can treat me like that?
That's crazy.
After all I've stood up for you, you punk ass. You really gonna do that to me? And the only thing that bothers me more than him.
Oh my God, dude, that's a teacher in a school? What happened with this? The teacher has been, okay, the teacher was fired. I'm not against I'm not like for just firing people, right? But holy fuck, that was so bad. That was like clearly crossing the line, dude. That's crazy. That guy is, see, dude, that's the type of people that are like in these comments sometimes. Yeah, that's pure Trump derangement syndrome, like straight up. That's Trump derangement syndrome. And yeah, he's gone. That is crazy. And there's not all the lefties in the chat are like that. Just some of them. Like we only banned one person today. There's only one person that we banned, and the dude started telling everyone to kill themselves. So the mods had to do it. They had to ban the guy. But he was insane. And like, I'm feeling like that dude that we banned is like this. This is that type of person. This person teaches kids. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, that guy definitely should not be working in that position with the kids, bro. Like he's yelling at them like that. Yeah, that's a bridge too far, my friend. Much too far. That's several bridges too far. That is insane. I can't believe that. Is there more? Is there like an original story to it? I don't think there's any more information. I might be able to, I'll see if I could track it down and make a video on this. That's what I'm going to do later. We'll cover it this, but I'll see if I can find out more and make like an additional video. That's what I'll do. $10 super chat from Benny-san. Says, you have to remember, these people are also far too common in government positions. We used to put them in sanitariums because they're a danger. Also, how many of them have access to children? That's true, dude. Yeah, these people are not just teachers. You know, that's very true. And I think this is why we need to be more of a merit-based society and vet people. You know, vet people. This guy, oh my God, it's psycho. Yeah, the kids these days call it a crash out, right? I used to call it a freak out. Now we're calling it a crash out, I guess. He's crashing out. I'm learning all the kid words. $2 super chat. I can't read that name, but thank you very much. Can you play COD? I will later at some point on my gaming channel. But right now we're doing this stuff. All right, let's go on to the next thing. We already covered this one. But this is funny. I just want to... This is... I think this is on my channel right now. Like I did a short for this. But we'll watch it one more time. This shit was the funniest part of the entire speech from JD Vance.
And expressing opinions isn't election interference. Even when people express views outside your own country, and even when those people are very influential. And trust me, I say this with all humor, if American democracy can survive 10 years of Greta Thunberg scolding, you guys can survive a few months of Elon Musk.
I just love that so much.
But what German democracy?
So funny, dude.
What no democracy?
That's so good, dude. Grumpy Thunberg, bro. She does not approve of this message. Oh my God, that's so funny. I just thought that was like my favorite part of the entire stream today so far. It was when he said that. That got a good belly laugh out of me. Oh my God. All right, here we have a USAID funded an organization that fabricated evidence which was used to impeach President Trump. The deep state frequently funds regime change efforts abroad, but when it uses taxpayer money to undermine our government, isn't that treason? Okay, so that's through the words of this Thomas Massey guy. These aren't my words. I'm just reading his tweet. I haven't seen this video yet. I don't have all the facts. I'm going in just like most of you watching this right now. Let's see what the guy says.
Mr. Schellenberger, can you explain how you traced USAID funding that served as the basis for whistleblower report in 2019, which led to the impeachment of President Trump?
Sure. Well, you may remember that the so-called whistleblower who's in the White House was actually a CIA analyst. And in that whistleblower's complaint, which led to the impeachment, one of the central pieces of evidence was created by a USAID funded and controlled organization called the OCCRP. And we have another piece out today about how it participated in the Russiagate hoax as well, creating essentially very important information leading to that. So, I mean, you have in USAID a much larger fund of money and a much broader strategy for information control that included censorship, but also, as I mentioned, taking control of investigative journalism really worldwide. I mean, its ambitions were, amazing. So yeah, I mean, that's an agency. When we saw that get shut down by DOJ, I thought that was completely appropriate. If there's something in there that it was doing that's valuable, then you could refund it later. But my view, same thing with CISA, death penalty for organizations that participated in violations of the First Amendment like CISA. Cybersecurity is an extremely important function. It shouldn't be contaminated and undermined by censorship activities.
Well, I think it's always been known that our government has funded the change in administrations, if we can say it politely, of other governments. But isn't it borderline treason when the taxpayer when organizations entrusted with protecting our country are now undermining our own government?
Absolutely. I mean, if you're trying to do regime change, illegal, if you're weaponizing DHS, FBI, CISA, that's treasonous regime change activities redirected, that you developed abroad, that we developed abroad for regime change, directed against the American people and our representatives. I mean, it's shocking, and we still haven't dealt with it as a country.
Absolutely
Mr.
shocking.
Chairman, I see my time has expired. I'd like to introduce into the record, or ask unanimous consent to introduce into the record, an article in Newsmax, Schellenberger, USAID paid for Trump impeachment effort, dated February 6, 2025.
Without objection.
I would love for this to be investigated. And if there, I don't speak for lefties, but I would like to think that they would agree with this. If it is actually true that the Department of Justice or just the government was used as a weapon, right? In the way that they are describing here. If this is true, that we can't allow that, right? Even if you don't like the side that won, we can't allow that, right? I don't care if it comes from Trump or from anybody. We could never allow that, right? If that is true. I'm a righty, and I 100% believe that that shit was weaponized like a motherfucker. Because I'm a righty. That's the way I see it. The things that I've seen, right? But I also want to see the actual evidence, and I would like to see it get, looked through properly, like we look at anything when we're dealing with legal matters. Be very thorough and find all the facts. And if the facts are suggesting or show that this is true, right? Which I believe it's true, but I still want to see the facts, right? That's fucked up, and we should do something about that. Do I think that anything is ever going to happen from it? I don't. I think this is one of those things where nothing will ever happen. But that's just me, and maybe I'm cynical. I think that it's, but if something illegal did happen and the Justice Department was weaponized to try and impeach Trump and to not get him elected, all that kind of stuff, and we could prove it, if we could prove it, we can't let it slide. That's how I feel about it. If that's true, if it's proven. Those are key critical words. $5 super chat from Benny-san. It says, Massey is probably the most honest person in Congress. Now he just needs to name the problem. Cool, you're open-minded. Leg up on most. Thanks for the comment, man. Thanks for the $5. Right. So if I don't know somebody or whatever and they're saying something, I'm just going to be like, I don't know this person. These are their words. I'm just reading them. Okay. I'm not necessarily saying I believe this or not. I'm just reading their words and investigating this and trying to see something for myself. And with the power of having a chat of hundreds of people, I can ask questions and talk to you guys about this and see if I can kind of figure out how I can make sense of it. Right now, I have massive concerns about there actually being fucking illegal shit that was done to weaponize our our systems to control who's in charge and undermine our democracy. You know what I'm saying? $5 super chat from Riley says, in my opinion, it shouldn't matter if you're left or right, but it shouldn't boil over like in the clips. Y'all asked for this and got mad. Like, come on, no pick and choose here. I'm not sure what you're talking about with you guys asked for this, but I agree. There's important things where we got to set aside left and right. And it doesn't matter if somebody did something that's wrong. We need to acknowledge that, Pop Samus, they are now investigating Congress reps who have a net worth of tens of millions while only making $250K a year. I mean, I don't care if they're Republican or if they're Democrat or whatever. I want to know where they got all their goddamn money. I've always wondered how the fuck did they make so much money? I've been on that. It's called I think it's called like Blue Whales or something Whales. There's a website that my financial advisors were showing me where you could track Nancy Pelosi's trades. So every time she does a trade, you could make the same trade. And then you could just so if you already know that she's insider trading, right? If you truly believe that, then you just make the same trades as her and you make a profit. Saying, I forgot what it was called. It's something Whales. You guys can look it up. It's a site that tracks all the politicians and all big players in the world. And insider trading is real. and people know things and they do investments perfectly timed consistently, you could make the same trades. Is Musk insider trading? You know what? That motherfucker cheats. All right. I like Elon Musk, and I'm glad that he's doing what he's doing. But also, he fucking lied about being the best in the world in Diablo 4. Just saying. So now that we know that, right? So here's how I operate with people. I learned this being a manager of hundreds of people, and you just got to understand that everybody lies and everybody does certain things. So, and then instead of just like completely burning a bridge and cutting ties, you just keep a note about people. Be like, this person lies. This person will lie about that shit. You just know that. So I look at Elon and I'm like, okay, he will lie about how good he is at playing video games. Flat face, blatantly lie about it. Okay, I know that about him. That's all. That's the way I look at it. I still like him, but I know that he'll lie about shit. He wants to be cool. Yeah, there's probably some super petty reason too, but he's still capable of it, and you just know that about people. Keep that mental note. You don't have to just be like, oh, this guy lies, I'll never talk to him again. You don't have to go like that. You just keep a mental note and have that in your arsenal of information about individual people, and you realize that, and it just helps you understand them a lot better. All right. What's next? Oh, this. Okay. So this guy apparently did a thing where he told people that he was going to vote for Trump, and then told people he was going to vote for Harris, and then measured the differences in responses to people. And I want to check this out. Let's see what he has to say and what his results were.
I made 2 separate videos before the election. One of the videos said I was going to vote for Kamala Harris. The other video said I was going to vote for Donald Trump. And I just wanted to see the mixed reactions from people and how people would react, because I do a lot of work from my hometown, do a lot of work from my community. I work with young boys. And I never said who I was voting for. But I made those 2 videos because I want to show people how they are in reality. I made the Donald Trump video and I made the Kamala Harris video. Under the Kamala Harris video, you definitely had some Trump supporters like, well, we understand that you may have a different opinion or whatever, but we still support what you do. Maybe you'll wake up one day, etc., etc. You know, things like that. It wasn't nothing vile, wasn't no bad comments or nothing. I made the Donald Trump video. I got people that unfollowed me. I got people saying they can't support nothing I do no more. I got folk calling me all types of names, etc., etc. But what's crazy is all of the Kamala Harris supporters have become what they accuse Trump supporters of being. When you say you support Donald Trump, y'all be ready to kill him. Y'all ready to burn him at the stake. You calling them all types of names. You're unfollowing them. You don't care what they're doing for their community. Nothing. If you support Trump, F you, I hate you so much, etc., etc. But all the people under the post, all the Trump supporters, when I said I was going to vote for Kamala, it was all love anyway. They was like, well, we still support what you're doing. We still going to donate. We still love the work, even though you don't have to support Donald Trump, etc., etc.
Right.
So I've only received hate from the people that call themselves the tolerant side, the side that's supposed to be about love.
Exactly. People are starting to see this, right? So the right is taking away the thing, and we need to do more of this. The right is taking away ammo from the left, right? So, okay, let's be more tolerant. What now? What? Now what? What are you going to say now? Right? Simple as that. So we're taking it away, and that's why the left is bleeding support, and these people are insane. That's why these people are fucking there's a lot of people that are just fucking normal, okay? But there's a lot of these ones, especially the ones on the internet, they're insane and they're obsessed with this, and their brain is rotted, and there's a massive difference in behavior between the two groups of people. Just saying, and what this guy is explaining is exactly the same thing I've experienced. You know, like I'm doing about 100 million views a month on just one channel. I'm coming across a lot of people, and I see the patterns. And the patterns are exactly the same as what this guy's talking about.
The side that's not about hate. But it's crazy because anytime somebody doesn't agree with you, all you spew is hate.
Yeah,
all you
ridiculous.
Give is hate. So it's funny how everybody who call themselves Democrats, you have turned into what you accuse the Republicans of being.
Yeah, and black people are like realizing that they're a fucking token to get votes. and they're realizing that the poor black communities have never been helped by the left ever, not once. That's all. The left depends on them being that way for votes. They're realizing it, and they're saying fuck this, and like they're understanding the world. We're letting them see. Everyone should be able to see what the world is like. We don't need to like hide it and they keep them inside of some fucking lies of bubbles. Right? People are going out. They're seeing the world, and their conclusion is these fuckers are crazy. I'm going with the right. $5 super chat from Benny San says the YouTube filtering AI literally doesn't want me to tell you where you can find Europa, the L fast B battle, the last battle. Europa, the last battle. Interesting. I do have an AI that like blocks a lot of crazy shit. It's just yeah, it's not me. I just tell YouTube to do the best. I know there's collateral damage, but it helps keep the comments clean, so I don't have to moderate crazy shit people are saying. There's some crazy shit people say, dude. But sometimes there's collateral damage. But thank you for the $5. Yeah, Europa, the last battle. Is that a movie? I'm glad to see videos like this, and I will tell you this, right? So most of my black friends, I made those friends when I was in the military. I have a few that I've made after the military, but when I was mostly around the most black people, when I was in the Marines, that's where most of my black friends are in my friend group, and all of them are Trump supporters, except for one. All of them are Trump supporters, and they have been for a long time. And some of these guys are fucking way more hardcore righties than I am, right? I'm pretty just kind of chill. These guys are just like super righty. They're hardcore. They went in hardcore because they're like, and they are exactly the same as this guy. They're like, dude, they've experienced the same exact thing, and they're trying to help their peers like fucking wake the hell up and understand what is happening. It's crazy. I never expected that. I always thought it'd be like the other way around, right? But no. The reality is the reality that ends up making the most sense. We always figure shit out. So don't underestimate people, you know? They will figure shit out. Okay, now we have some memes. This is still the greatest edit of all time. Oh, man. Oh, I've seen this! I love it. Yeah. They in love.
I apologize.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
I'm breaking all the rules.
So I guess we might make some mistakes. Who knows?
This is so good. Just fuck already.
I think one of the biggest problems we have in DC is that everyone's egos are too big.
Yeah. I actually prefer to have no titles at all.
You're opening yourself up.
I'm just being me.
This is so good. Oh my god, I love this so much, dude. Can't we all just
let's go
fucking get along?
Absolutely.
This is so good. My god. I'm gonna give you guys a link to that so you can have it, okay? I know you guys want this. Here's a link. You can save that one for later. There you go. Put it in the Twitch chat too. There you guys go. That's so funny, dude. I'm downloading. Oh, hold on. Do I have it bookmarked? Bookmarking it. There we go. I'm saving that. $5 super chat from Benny San says AOC is a literal puppet. She got her job through a media agency. It's a joke and proves the elections are controlled. You know what? I think she rose to power fair and square. Okay? She rose to power fair and square. There's different people use different, whatever they got, whatever you have access to. I'm not going to blame her for utilizing any type of advantage she utilized for getting to her position. This is merit. I disagree with her fundamentally. I don't agree with literally like 100% of everything she says. Just about. Maybe like 99.999%. There's got to be something, right? But listen, she rose to power and has support from the left. She fucking did that shit. I'm just saying, dude, she did do that shit. We could disagree with everything she's saying, but The merit of her achieving what she achieved is her merit. And there's nothing wrong with somebody utilizing whatever advantages they have around them to get ahead and win. And I say this as a righty. We need to be more fair, right? AOC, do not underestimate her. She's not going anywhere. Don't do to her what the other side did to Trump. They underestimated that motherfucker. Don't underestimate her. She's actually good at playing the game the way she plays it. She's our opponent. Don't underestimate your opponent. Just saying. Just saying. All right. That way you could be more competitive when she's pulling some shit. This is how we win. She fell off. No, dude. We won. We won, so we feel that way, but she's not going anywhere, and don't be naive. All right. That's what I say. If she's our opponent, respect her capabilities. That way we can be competitive when she pulls some shit. The reason why they lost so badly to Trump is because they underestimated that motherfucker twice. Stupid asses. If you guys want to laugh at something really funny, check this out. So Rachel Maddow is not happy about a contract that Elon Musk is getting. So apparently there's like a several $100 million deal going on where there's going to be a lot of armored Teslas that are being created for the government. Check this out.
Elon Musk has apparently somehow convinced the United States government, specifically the United States Department of State, that the taxpayers of the United States of America should spend $400 million buying, quote, armored Tesla production units.
That's
Isn't
crazy.
it great and definitely not at all illegal or profoundly corrupt? Definitely not ripping us all off to pay themselves, right?
So here's the zinger. Here's the zinger, right? Here, now, I don't know if this is true. We need to fact check this. Okay? Just want to make, still needs to be fact checked. I think it's true, but I have not checked this. But if it's true, wouldn't that be hilarious? Listen to what Waters has to say.
Donald Trump didn't give that contract to Elon Musk. Joe Biden gave it to him.
Elon Musk has apparently somehow...
If that is true, that's just hilarious. But I don't know if it's true. I think it might be true, but I'm biased. I want it to be true. I want that to be true. Is it true? I don't know. How do I look it up? I have no fucking clue. How do we fact check that? I don't know. Maybe someone in the chat can. Is that true? It's true? He signed it December 2004. Hey, fact checked it. Let's find out if true. Like, I don't know. I just want to double check, you know? Because I didn't like check myself. So I'm pulling it up live and I'm like, can you guys check? Because you guys are like, there's a lot of you, you know? There's a lot of you guys. I can be like, can someone check that? And then someone can. Signed in 2004. That's what chat is saying. Very true. Everyone's saying it's true. Atlas says that it's not. Okay, if someone says that it's not true, can you give me the information on that? I think that's a fair, like, I'm not being unfair here by wondering, like, okay, wait, can we, like, check it? Not 2004, 2024. Yeah, 2024. Okay, signed 2024. Interesting. Interesting. $5 super chat from Benny-san says, stop. Corruption is not an advantage. It's cheating. If I control the deck at poker and take all your money via cheating, you'd be pissed. Yeah, but also if there's no, like, if cheating is going to happen. Cheating is going to happen. It's kind of like people lie. I know that people lie. You can't stop them from lying. They're going to lie. Right? So there's like a realistic expectation of the world and an unrealistic one. And that's just kind of the way I look at it. Just looking at it logically. You can't stop it. Musk, let me turn on some tunage. There we go. Musk is not disclosing his interests. Jesse Waters is an actual real decent human being. He fought fact checked her ass real time. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I think that I mean, it's a war between the lefty talking heads and the righty talking heads. It's all war. I try not to get too caught up in a lot of it, to be honest. I just look at it that way. What happened to people hating electric cars? They still hate them. I am a talking head, yeah. They still hate them. Like, I'm on Facebook, bro. Like, when I post anything in Facebook about Cybertrucks, whatever, I have a pretty mixed bag of lefties and righties, and they all hate them. They all say the Cybertruck is ugly, all that stuff. They still hate them. People hate Elon's cars, but they like Elon Musk. I like Elon's cars, and I like Elon Musk. I'm on that side. Do you have any other theme songs? I could play some other shit. Let's just kind of chill, you know what I'm saying? When did you get red pilled? I used to hate your vids, but it seems you're catching on. I mean, I'm not like red pilled. I'm just logical, and I've always been logical. I think a lot of people, they'll see like a video, like, so here's what happens, right? If I make a video about a white Karen and I make fun of her, then I'm called a libtard. If I make a video making fun of a black Karen, then I'm called a racist. So I think that's kind of what you experience, right? Because there's a lot of people. I had to think about, like, how are people coming across my videos? How are they feeling and stuff like that? All the different walks of life, different types of people. And it's so in my experience as a content creator, if I make a video about black Karens, I'm called racist. If I make a Karen about white Karens, I'm a liberal. That's just, yeah, I can't win, right? So it's like, I think that probably what you experienced is you saw something that made you think I was a lib. I'm not. I'm just fair. Anybody could be a Karen. If you're going to be a Karen and somebody videotapes you and it goes on the internet, I'm going to make fun of you in front of everybody. I don't give a fuck whether you're liberal, whether you're Republican, whether you're black or white. A Karen is a Karen. If you're going to act like a Karen, you're going to get made fun of like a Karen. That's my point. $20 super chat. Benny says, all you need to understand is Fox is still owned by the same cabal that owns the rest of mainstream media. It's called controlled opposition. I will spend my last dollar to help people understand left and right is theater. I agree with that wholeheartedly, especially with the media. That's kind of like where I'm coming in is like, dude, like, I just look at these organizations and realize like their agenda is generating revenue. The more crazy shit they talk about, the more money they make. And I also have a problem with a lot of the influencers, right, that have rose as political commentators. They make all their money. The more scared and angry they make people, the more revenue they generate. So that's why, like, not all of them do it, but a lot of them will get more and more and more extreme as time goes on, as they catch on and get popularity, because it generates more revenue. The more scared you make people, because when you make people scared, they keep watching. And it's so the same shit that the media is doing is now the political influencers are starting to do as well. And I don't feel like you're attacked. I know you know this might apply to some of your favorite political commentators. The crazier shit they say, or the more scared and angry they make people, the more money they make. This is how it works. I'm really glad that you said that message, Benny, because that is true. That's like the core of the reason why I'm even doing this content on this channel. I always said I'm not going to pick a fucking side and make political content, right? I've always said that I always said I wasn't going to do this stuff regardless, but I streamed the election one day and it was a success and people liked. I just shared the way I see things and people liked it. They're like, well, you seem like you're pretty fair. You know, you're not like, I don't see the other side as my enemy. You know, we have to treat them as an opponent, but they don't have to be an enemy. They're Americans. And they're just trying to be fair. And it gave me motivation. I'm like, you know what, let's talk more about this. And I want to share the way I see things. And that is that there's two sides to all this stuff, and both sides are guilty of a lot of the same shit. And as a righty, I'm trying to encourage righties, hey, we should drop some of that baggage so we could be more competitive and continue to beat the lefties. But also, I like to talk to the lefties and tell them, like, bro, some of that shit you guys do is making people not listen to you. The sooner you realize that, the better off your side's going to be. So I try to speak to both sides fairly and with true care for them. There was a dude throwing death threats earlier in the some crazy lefty in the Twitch chat was telling everyone to kill themselves. That we had to end up, like, it's the only person we banned today. For the most part, it's usually pretty chill. You know, there's a lot of lefties that are going to be, they really don't like that I'm talking about this stuff, and it upsets them, but they're not telling me to kill myself. So, you know, they're allowed to be upset. They don't have to like it. Anyways, $10 super chat from Benny San says, people need to also understand regulatory capture. Manufacturing left the US because bureaucrats kept passing regulations that protected the corporations and priced out competitors. It's by design. This is true. Benny-san, dude, we see things very similarly. Dude, this is true. I'm from manufacturing, and when I owned an exhaust manufacturing company, and I was approached by both India and China, people from those countries that said, hey, we can get you in on some of these manufacturing floors. We can make your shit for way cheaper than you guys can make it, and it's the same shit. And that was really compelling. But I personally didn't do it, but a lot of my competitors did, and they whooped our ass. They almost put my company out of business because they all went to China and made way more shit cheaper and were able to offer better prices to customers. It almost put us out of business. But then, you know, I'm a veteran, so I started leaning in on, like, well, I'm a veteran and we make stuff here in America. And we just started branding it that way. Like, this is American made. I'm a veteran. My dad is a motorcycle fucking legend. You know, like I leaned on all that, and then we were able to start making sales. The company was saved, and then I was able to sell it to bigger, smarter, better people. But yeah, no, if that's the way business is, if there's a more affordable option to get the same product, and now you have larger margins, businesses almost have no choice but to do that because of loyalty to bottom line. That's how businesses operate by design. So by design, if there's a better opportunity elsewhere and it's better for the business for it to thrive, they're going to do that. So by adding tariffs and things and basically wagging our big dick around we can try and muscle manufacturing to come back to America, which would be good. And we do that by saying, well, if we can make America the most prosperous place to manufacture, so you get the best benefit as a manufacturer, then they will come here. But we have to achieve that. And one thing that makes it really hard is American humans are way more expensive workers than workers in, like, India or China. They pay them way less money over there. So I'm curious to see how the numbers all math out at the end. Let's see if this works. That's the way I see it. $5 super chat from Christine Crowder says, please buy me a PS5. I have an old dusty, musty, rusty, crusty PS3. This sounds like a jet engine. Man, I wish I could. I wish I could just buy everyone. I wish I could be like YouTube Oprah. You know, you get a PS5. You get a PS5. Vets for Trump. A lot of vets for Trump. If you're not a liberal when you are young, you have no heart. And if you are not a conservative when you're old, you have no brain. This rings so true in my life. My dad, I'm sorry, you're right. Oh, is that something your dad said? I like that. If you're not a liberal when you're young, you have no heart. If you're not a conservative when you're old, you have no brain. That's so funny. That's actually pretty good. I like that. Stanimus, they probably laid off most of your workforce. I sold the company and they moved it to Indiana. They offered everyone that worked there a package to go. A lot of them did take the package and went. A lot of them stayed in their city where they wanted to live and got a different job. That's what happened. Yeah, no, they didn't. That was part of the deal. And that was actually one of the reasons why I was able to sell the company, Red, was if I didn't have such good people working for me, I wouldn't have been able to sell the company because I wasn't going to stay. I sold the company with employees that know stuff. And that's why the people that bought the company from me, they offered really good packages for those people to move from South Dakota, which is where I had my company at the time, to Indiana, which is where it is now. And a lot of those people even still work there today. Let's see, what was this? It takes a community to make manufacturing work. Let's work together. Let's make prices cheaper, but we always want bigger and better things. I think that's true. Yeah, dude. Like, well, we have to work together, and I think that we can help. We can contribute to bringing manufacturing and stuff back here. There was something about someone who's asking about trans rights. I want to read this. Let's see. Can Papa Stan say trans rights? Yeah, I can say trans rights. Trans people should have the same rights as everyone else. There's certain things that we have to address and we have to put our foot down on, and that is like trans men competing in women's sports. Obviously, that's not a good idea. But I have multiple actual trans friends that I talk to all the time. They're not just acquaintances, and they're normal fucking people. Benny San is coming. Dude, you're a crazy. He just did a $200 super chat. Don't pick sides. Fuck your country and people. Pick the children and their future. I like that. That's good. Morality and virtue are the foundation of our republic and necessary for society to be free. Virtue is an inner commitment and voluntary outward obedience to principles, truth, and moral law. Dude, you're really popular in this chat. Everyone's liking what you're saying, Benji. Did I say Benji? Is it Benji or Benja? How do I say that first one? I want to say Benji. $5 super tap from Benji says a foundry in Ohio did the same. Consolidated to Kenosha, then 8 months later shuttered the plant and shipped tech to China. That's crazy, dude. I have a friend of mine. He's a big mod in my Discord. He runs my Minecraft server, and he's been a friend of mine for years. And this guy, he worked in a really shitty manufacturing plant where they paid him shit and they overworked him and just took advantage of him and yelled at him all the time. They didn't like it. And his dad worked at like the bigger plant. This is in Pennsylvania. There's a big plant there where they make like parts for nuclear facilities, like nuclear power plants, right? They like build nuclear power plant parts there. Pretty serious job, and it's really hard to get in. But once you get in, damn, do they pay you well. He's making over $100,000 a year, and he started off, his job was to drive a golf cart around and pick up everyone's trash. That's how he started. But he's getting paid a lot, but it took a long time for him to get in. His dad had worked there for many years, and my friend, ever since he was a kid, always dreamed of working there like his dad. And he finally achieved it. And he's making bank now. He doesn't just drive the golf cart around anymore. He was the new guy, so they just paid him a bunch of money, and they're like, you're the new guy, you're in, just wait until we get you into the next thing. So they just had him doing that. And then now he actually like builds these like nuclear rod things. He does a pretty serious job there. And he makes a ton of money manufacturing those things. And it's a very tight-knit place. And I hear how they operate that place, and being from manufacturing myself, I'm just like, man, that place has their shit together so much better than I did when I was running manufacturing. Like, they're just so much more intelligent with it. And I'm just looking at how they do things. I'm like, man, that makes so much sense, you know, and like, look how loyal everyone is. And there's a true team that's put together where everyone's like trying to achieve a goal together, you know, and everyone works hard and then they get paid well and the company is thriving. And I'm just like, man, dude, I would love to see more of that in America. It works. There's places where it works. They have it figured out. Christopher Prister with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it, man. $10 super chat from Benji. It says, did you know after the excuse me, let me start over. Did you know after the corporatists crashed Westinghouse, there's actually no U.S. company that produces in-house nuclear PP tech? What are you laughing at? Why are you laughing, Brittany? What are you laughing at, huh? PP tech, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know what Westinghouse is. I need to research it and educate myself. The only thing, I'm just looking at PP tech, bro. I'm fucking so immature. I'm just like, nuclear PP tech, bro. That's a word. Nuclear PP tech is a word, a real one. Power plant. I know, power plant. I'm sorry. I'm just seeing PP tech, dude. I see it. God, he's like, God damn it. It's power plant. I'm sorry, dude. I can't help my brain, okay? It is the way it is. I have nuclear pee-pee. My wife tells me all the time. Oh my God. Oh. That needs to stay in this chat. Like, we need to like keep that. We cannot lose that one. That was too funny. We need to have an in-house joke with nuclear pee-pee tech or something. That needs to be like immortalized. Oh my God. That is so funny. Nuclear pee-pee tech, bro. There's a nuclear pee-pee 3 miles from my house. Keeps the Mississippi River nice and warm. Fish with legs and 3 eyes. That's, that is a concern too. I want to make sure that we're doing things and not ruining our environment and stuff. Big balance to everything. Clean coal. Clean coal. Your pee-pee tech is going nuclear. Yeah. I'm sorry, homie. Dude, I hope that didn't bother him too much, because I'm just like, dude, that is like, my brain just saw nuclear pee-pee tech. We should bring more. Nuclear scares the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie. It scares the shit out of me, dude. I'm worried about it. I saw that Chernobyl movie, dude, and that shit's freaky. I don't know. I'm terrified of it. I don't want to have nuclear meltdowns. It's scary, but I want the energy too. I want the electricity, but I'm scared of the meltdown. I don't know, $10 super chat from the Crazy Puppet. Says, me either changing title or people above me will be looking for a new job soon, because not a single move EAS made it grow the current future employees. Also, shout out Lennon, like super chat. EAS. I'm trying. Let me read this one more time. Let's see if I can get this. Me either changing title or people above me will be looking for a new job soon, because not a single move EAS. I see EAS, I'm thinking Marines, like end of active service. I'm thinking EAS date. Made a little grow the current future employees. Also shout out Lennon, like super chat. Thank you for the $10 super chat. $2 from Zethar says, don't spill the beans. Big Pee-Pee will come after you. $5 super chat from Benny says, nuclear power is safest, cleanest, cheapest, smallest per worth hour produced. Any honest person would clamor for it. Yeah, I want the energy from it. I'm just scared of the meltdowns because they've happened. That's just how I feel about it. But I want the electricity. If we're doing one and it's safe, I'm really glad. I know we still have some. From what I understand, we stopped doing a lot of nuclear power plants. Maybe because of fear of meltdowns and stuff. Maybe it's because of my fear, Maybe it's irrational. Maybe we need to be educated more on it. They scare the shit out of me. You know what I mean? Like, it just sounds scary. But, I'm just being honest. Maybe they're probably fine. We probably have it all figured out. Or we could do it just fine. Nate says, how are you today, with $2 super chat? I'm doing great, man. How you doing? I'm just chilling. In 2005, the eastern coast will be underwater, said 2000s media. Meanwhile, in a condo in the beach in the Ocean City has never been flooded while built in the 70s. I'm concerned about Florida flooding, but I feel like as like the human race, we're just so badass that we can constantly pump the water out. We'll just figure it out. Be a floating state or something. I don't know. I just feel like we'll just figure it out. $5 from Benny says, God damn it. Yeah, we stopped because of brainwashed NIMBYs. One major meltdown. Meanwhile, coal plants pump out radioactive ash 24/7 for 100 years. I'm Buddy says, we have more oceanfront properties if that happens. Yeah, so there's this show that I saw where each episode jumps forward like 10 years. I think it may have been on Apple TV, and it was really interesting. A lot of it takes place in Florida, and like later on in the years, Florida is not like super flooded, but everyone walks around with like rubber boots because there's water everywhere. $5 super chat from Benji says natural gas also very clean source, very little pollution. Yeah, and that I know we're moving a lot of. Let me find something else to listen to. Super Nintendo music. Let's do Earthbound. I want to do some Earthbound music. Let's do Earthbound. What, like what genre would we want to do? Like synthwave, Nestwave. Sick. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
Now,
$5 super chat from Benny says, or I read that. I'm sorry. But yes, I agree. I know we're moving a lot of that. That's a lot. We get a lot of it from Canada, from what I understand. I don't know how much of our overall we're getting from Canada, but I know we get a lot from Canada. I only learned that because I was researching the tariffs and what it is that we're getting from them and what they're getting from us. I was just kind of trying to understand who has the leverage in this situation, just to see what's going on. And yeah, natural gas, liquid natural gas. We get a lot of that. Yeah, it's fine as long as we don't start doing shit that Russia did. I don't think that we're going to. I don't think that we're doing that type of shit, bro. I don't see us like invading and going to war over nothing. I think that that's a lot of fear mongering, you know? $2 super chat for Matthew says do a flip, bro. If I try and do a flip, I'm gonna crack my fucking head open, and then I won't be able to stream Trump shit anymore. Liquid gold, as Trump likes to call it. Yeah. Yep. Energy fuels the world. Energy is the ultimate currency. What if a country, do you think, okay, what if America learned how to make unlimited energy somehow from nothing, and it was like really cheap, but no one else knew how to do it, and we just kept it secret and just gave the world energy? You know, we'd be so fucking rich. I don't know if you talked about it last stream or first hour and a half of this stream, but I heard Trump is trying to negotiate with Putin and reduce Russia's and U.S. nuclear weapons by half. I did talk about that a little bit last stream, or at least we listened to Trump talk about it, and then I made a few comments about it. But yeah, he here's how I measure that. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, so if we reduce the amount of overall global threat amongst ourselves, and we can try and find a way for more countries to do well with themselves while not taking advantage of each other as much as possible, right? And we just kind of, even our adversaries, right? All of it. We just kind of bring down the heat. If we bring down the heat, then the military costs less because we don't need to spend so much. So by bringing down the heat, we could bring down the spending. And that is very sound logic as far as I'm concerned. Less war, less heat, less military spending. Like Trump said, he would like to cut the military spending in half. We can't do that until the heat comes down, though. We have to bring the heat down. This music isn't working. I'm gonna have to skip ahead. Let's go here. So that makes sense to me. The U.S. supported genocide in Cambodia. I didn't support genocide in Cambodia. Wife just hit a deer. Bastards are everywhere. Everyone is fine, including the deer. Good. Glad everyone's okay. Hope the car's okay. Didn't see insulin getting expensive again. I would love for insulin to go back down. I'm not a diabetic, but I know diabetics, and I would love for insulin to go down. $10 super chat from NR says, should trans people have the right to utilize nuclear PP tech? Fucking dude. Oh, God. No. Not allowed. Executive order. Not allowed. The trans don't get nuclear PP tech. They gave up their nuclear PP tech. They don't get no takesies, backsies. All right? It is funny. It's a joke, dude. Like, I'm about to copy paste this, send it to my homie. She'll think it's fucking funny. No sound on the video. We watched it, and I'm just kind of, I just have like, it's like a Daddy Trump wallpaper, you know? Just figured I just have like a little Daddy Trump wallpaper for you guys. You can just look at Daddy Trump up there. That was so good, Enter. $20 super chat from Eric says Trumpy2. Love the content. You're a very wholesome person. The mining and production carbon footprint to create the Tesla batteries outweigh the no emissions life of a car. Also, check out how cobalt is mined. I appreciate the $20 super chat. Here's my thoughts on it. Bro, we gotta break some eggs to make some omelets, right? Let's make the electric cars the way they're made currently. Okay. I don't know all the facts on what the balance is, but from what I understand, it's pretty fucking similar. It's not, at the end of the day, it's pretty, like the footprint or whatever, right, is similar. But why just stop? We can make that better. Electricity is unlimited. Fossil fuels is not. So if we can find a way to make really good electric cars that don't have the footprint that we're trying to avoid, right, or at least less, we could work towards optimizing that further, while also optimizing our use of fossil fuels too. We could do both at the same time. We have to, that's the way I see it. We should do both, so we're as optimized as possible. It's not just about choices. It's about investing in the technology for the future. That's the way I'm looking at it. So I think that we should continue to improve combustion engines, and they're so efficient. It's insane how efficient, like how far we've taken that, and we can keep taking that further. But I think that we should also continue to push the technology of electric vehicles, how we make batteries, how we store electricity. That is going to be our ultimate energy going forward. You know, just even hundreds of years from now, like 100 years from now, we'll be so glad that we're investing in battery technology now. I think that we can get better at that. I think I'm going to change it from Earthbound. Let's do Zelda Synthwave, huh? Let's do that. That sounds good. Let's do that. But that's my thoughts, Eric. Why not invest in both? It makes more sense optimize wise. I work for a subcontractor. There are 2 companies that I know of here in Michigan that are employed owned. Tesla made them efficiently before Musk took over. That's not true. They didn't make a single car before. There was only a name. There was no design for any of the vehicles whatsoever. Yeah, when Trump took over, and then they started making the cars. Turn it down slightly. There we go. Republican farmers already crying because WIC is done. I'll have to see what's up with that. I haven't heard anything about it yet. Eric is 100% right. The amount of carbon to make a battery lasts 5 years is horrendous compared to buying a vehicle from yesteryear and just maintaining it. America isn't big on lithium. Yeah, I don't give a shit. I say do it anyways. That's what I say, do it anyways, right? It's going to be fine. We're going to be fine. We should invest in figuring out that technology further. We need to get really good at storing electricity. We need to be good at that. It's like the future. So maybe there's impacts now. If we could be aware of that and actively work to improving it so we can reach some sort of good threshold, that would be a good thing. And I know that we can achieve it. We're fucking humans. We're amazing. That's what we do. So I say continue to invest in it. Push it further. We need to push the technology further. There's a lot of things that we've done that are not good for the environment, but we needed to do it so we could be where we're at today. A lot of things, you know? The cow farts. Lots of cows, they farting. We need to eat beef, bro. We hungry. It needs to be done. We need to eat. Can we get better at that? Yeah, let's figure it out. But we still got to keep eating the cows. I'm hungry, bro. I like burgers. I think we could push the technology further. We could figure out how to raise cows and slaughter them even more efficiently than we currently do, dude. I really like all we do is optimize. That's what we've been doing since we discovered fire, dude. All we've been doing is continually nonstop optimizing. We create tools that make more tools that make more tools. I'm all about it. And I'm just saying, like, battery technology, we need to continue to invest in it. Elon Musk is right. He's right. And I see it as a very simple equation. There's not an unlimited amount of fossil fuel, but there is an unlimited amount of electricity, and we get it for free from the sun. And many other ways, we get a lot of electricity too. So that's how I see it. I understand that people, like, a lot of people hate electric cars and stuff like that. I get it, whatever. I'm just thinking about the technology and how cool and useful it's going to be in the future when we've made it way better. You know, it's going to be real helpful to people. They're going to use the shit out of it, and it's going to happen. They're going to improve the battery technology. They're making batteries last so long. You get these little fucking toys, or I get this little camera. You put a AA in it, and that camera is good for like 2 years outside. Like, what? We're getting so good at storing battery power, and we're getting really good at being efficient when we use stuff, so we can make things move and operate with less electricity requirement. So we're just getting good at stuff across the board, and it's going to be good things for the future. $10 super chat from Benny-san says tariffs are traditionally for stuff you can acquire in country. They shouldn't exist for stuff the country can't produce, like nickel. It also prevents U.S. manufacturers from using garbage Chinesium steel. Ooh, that's a really good point. Benny is very logical. That makes sense. Yeah, don't tariff things that you can't get yourself, or that you can't produce yourself from in-house. That's retarded. Don't tariff that. Tariff the things that we can do ourselves. That way we can encourage in-house creation of it, or industry. In-house industry around those materials that we could do ourselves is good. It makes sense. The more because I'm looking at this stuff every single day, the more I'm looking at tariffs and things like that, I can understand the utility. They just have to be done correctly. And the blanket, like, tariffs are bad, right? The blanket belief in that is retarded. Especially when they're like, the tariffs are bad, but when, like, Canada does it back to the US, yeah! Like, I thought they were bad. What? I thought those were bad. Why are you cheering for it just because Canada did it? What? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, his face. That's a perfect place to pause, bro. Look at that guy's face. Clean coal. Why is the Tesla Roadster since 7 years in production, but not on the road? I don't know. Production hell. They didn't build it. They ended up doing the Cybertruck. They're doing the semis. Yeah, I guess not 100% everything goes to plan. Imagine that. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy that it's like that, right? Buy the new Tesla Roadster. You're never going to get it. You can get the Cybertruck. The semis are coming out. Yeah, I don't know. The battery can't fit in the car. Okay. Yeah, some ideas don't always work out. This is pretty basic, dude. I'm not sure what type of gotcha point you're trying to make. One of the car designs didn't go through? Damn, that's crazy. Eric with a $20 super chat. It's pronounced Trumpito. Electric cars have been around since the 20s. I agree with electric technology, but on more of the hybrid side of a vehicle's not full electric, not fully gas. Fossil fuels create electricity. Yeah, I have a hybrid. I love my hybrid. I have a RAV4. It's a good car. I have one. And I would love to have a Cybertruck. If I get rich enough as a YouTuber, I'm buying a fucking Cybertruck. But I have to get, like, really rich because I'm, like, super frugal and I put all my money into, like, investments and stuff. This is what I was at. It's like $100,000 Cybertruck, or just throw it in the S&P 500. Yeah, I just invested that shit. Instead of making the money go away, it just turns into more money. So I'm just like, just drive my hybrid. I'll just drive my hybrid. Electric Halo Warthog. I would totally do something crazy like that. Yeah. I have a 96 Ford Dually F350 in my yard too. Get 6 miles a fucking gallon, but that motherfucker will haul. If I need to do some hauling, I have one. I don't drive it much because it's so expensive. But I'd love to drive a Cybertruck. That'd be sick. You know, $10 super chat from Eric says the only thing you need to tell vegetarians and vegans is that cows eat grass. Other animals eat grass. Therefore, those animals are plant-based. So eat up. I just look at it this way, bro. If someone doesn't want to eat meat, who cares? Just don't. I'm not big in rubbing it in their face. It's their own personal decision. If they're trying to be snobby about it and try and shame you for you making your own decisions, then fuck them. You know, now they've crossed that line. Now you can do whatever, you know, make fun of them, talk shit, rub it in their stupid face. But if they're not doing that to you, then I don't see any reason to do it back. They make their own life choices. We make our own life choices, and we can sit there and talk fucking football. It's all good to go. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I see it, homie. $10 super chat from Benji. Benny says, my fear is Trump pushing the national sales tax, VATs, and not only does the federal government not have the authority, but it'll just turn into the same abusive tax it is in EU. Yeah, the response of other countries is the concern with tariffs, right? Now, if they're being marketed as reciprocal, like you guys are doing this, so we're just doing it back, fair is fair, and we can get them to agree and not retaliate, that would be a good thing. But we'll have to, a lot of this, we have to wait and see. It's only been 3 weeks. It's crazy how much has happened. We have to wait and see. But I have the same concerns. I'm worried about that. I'm paying attention. I'm watching, waiting to see what's going to happen. Cows are vegan animals, so we're eating vegan. Basically, I guess, you know. Have you guys ever had Wagyu steak from Japan? Like real Wagyu, not the American Wagyu, but real Wagyu. American Wagyu is good too because it's like a combination of the two, and it's a little bit easier to eat like a whole steak. But a full-on Wagyu, dude, I can't even eat half one of those before my veins start chugging. Why would countries not retaliate on taxes? And why are we even doing them? There's no upside for us putting tariffs on our allies, especially for things we need to import. The argument is that they are doing things to us that is one-sided. So they're getting a lot of money out of us while we're freely just sending stuff and not doing anything in return, right? That's what the argument is. So instead of just accepting an unfair deal, the argument is to make the deal more fair, so it's not a one-way street. That is the argument. This isn't tariff related. This is a delete income tax, install sales tax. But if you looked at EU, some countries have VATs like at 30%. That's insane. I see. Wagyu's delicious. It is. Clogged veins. Yep, I'm clogging my veins big time. That shirt looks like a Howard Stern whackpacker. It's Heisenberg. My wife got it from Kohl's. Steam-powered vehicles were in the 1700s. Bro, I would love to have a steam-powered vehicle just because, like have someone throwing up. I'll just hire someone to be my wood person. They just throw wood in there, right? And I'll just steer. Wouldn't it be cool? I think that would be sick. Yeah, it's the tariffs thing is a new thing for me to think about. I haven't thought about it much. If you are watching political commentary, then why can't you react to something yourself? You guys are talking amongst yourselves. My bad. I see that. $5 super chat from Eric says, that guy Eustace from the show Mountain Men runs his pickup truck on wood, and it's awesome. I'd love to see that. I know a guy here in Colorado. He builds steam engines. Yeah, that's his hobby. He likes to build them. He makes all different kinds of steam powered things. And they're small too. He like little teeny tiny miniature steam engines and power all kinds of random shit. Fuck, I forgot his name. He's in like Boulder area. And it's just the coolest thing. Ryan, what's up, man? I see you in the chat. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? It's wood. Superman pulled it. Superman pulled his hog out. I think watch Sicko. Put on some Elon news. Let me see if there's anything new going on. I'm just gonna check real quick. I think that Trump signs executive orders. This was the one I was just on. Yeah, there's nothing new. They're all dried up for the day. We watched everything. This is Trump signing some executive orders earlier. I like how he streams these every day. I think that we need to wrap things up. It's time for me to get going, and I'm gonna try and be back tomorrow. See, what is today? Is today Friday? It is Friday. Oh shit! Maybe we could play some games. There's this game Avowed that came out. That I could check out. Let me see here. Avowed. Is this like out? I don't think it's out. I think I need to buy it. Where is it? See, Game Pass. Where's this Avowed? Oh, it's gone. Oh, here it is. Coming 2/18. So it comes out in 4 days. But if I give them $20, I swear there was some sort of like I could get access early if I give them $20 or something. $10 super chat from Benny. It says, this is going to be weird, but the only world leader who routinely brought his doggo everywhere and loved him was the mustache man. I'm a dog man myself, 20 plus years training SR and explosive canines. Wait, you're talking about fucking Hitler? Why are we talking about Hitler? I'm a dog guy. I love dogs. When is this game coming out? It's coming out in 3 days, 16 hours, 46 minutes. About to be down by you heading to the airport, Stan Price. Oh, no shit. Superman invested in PP stocks. If anybody's in Colorado area and you're an adult, hit me up in DMs. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the point is talking about Hitler loving dogs, to be honest. Some guy in Scotland tried to teach his dog to do the salute, supposedly. Oh, yeah. What's his name? Fucking, I love that guy. He's so hilarious. Yeah, no, that shit was funny as fuck. Showing the dog to do it wasn't his dog. It was his mate's dog. What's his name? You guys know his name. That shit was funny. And then he got in a ton of trouble for it. He got like arrested or fined or something. $5 super chat from Benny says, show me another world leader who loved their dogs. Dogs are a reflection of character. I mean, Joe Biden loved his dogs. I think any president, like, I don't know. What's the, bro, I don't understand the point. JD Vance he has like a German Shepherd or something. A nice youthful German Shepherd following him around. I don't see the point. I have to push back on that. I'm not sure what the point is. Biden's dog bit people. Never followed him. No other world leader has dogs. There is no point. Okay. Biden's dog should bite people. Don't fuck with him. I support the biting. I don't like Biden, but I like his dog. Especially if he's biting people. I like him even more. Maybe that's a weird thing to say. What kind of dog did he have? A German Shepherd too? I think they both have. I just put down a German Shepherd. Saddest shit ever, dude. I've never felt that sad in my life. I was in the Marines and like we lost people in Iraq. That was sad. We got back and then I got out and it's been like years since I've been out and then we've had a bunch of suicides. And putting my dog down was like the saddest shit I've ever felt in my life. It's so weird. Like I don't know if I'm oversharing or not here, but I just like the way that made me feel was way more sad than I've ever felt in my entire life. It was the saddest thing. God damn it. I'll be right back. I just had to get my shit together. Her name was Guinness. She was the best dog ever. Best dog ever. She was pure German Shepherd. Got her in Colorado Springs when she was 8 weeks old. She would fit in her palm. And it's a little plop, little puppy plop right in your hand. She almost made it to 15. She was like a couple months shy. Oh, she lived a long life. It's good. Oh, here she is right here. I'll show you. You guys can see her. There she is. So she couldn't move. She's on a bed and she can't get up. You know, we took care of her for over a month this way. Like you can see the plastic on there. You know, 'cause she was going to the bathroom. All the bathroom stuff going on is right there. So we're just constantly cleaning up and keeping her clean and taking care of her. It was really cold outside, and she was going crazy laying on this bed. She can't get up. Her rear legs just gave out. She can't get up. They don't work anymore. So we'd pick her up on the bed like a taco, and then we would put her outside in the grass, and she would instantly piss the bed. And we're like, "That's right. There you go. You're outside now." You know, she can't control her poop that well, but she was able to control her urine. And then you put her outside, she'd instantly release. You know, and we'd keep her warm. It was pretty cold out, so keep her warm because she's old. Almost made it to 15. This was like a couple days before we had to put her down. Avowed is pretty damn good, in your opinion. I'm really curious about checking it out. I know that there's like some like DEI fucking whatever, you know, but I'll just want to see the game for myself and see if it's fun or not. That's the only thing I care about. I don't let a lot of that like rhetoric affect if I'm going to enjoy the game or not. I'll go check it out. And if I'm having fun playing it, then I'm having fun. So we'll give it a shot and see what's up. I did hear that it's really buggy. See ya, Swift. Appreciate you, man. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 must continue. Enjoy your games. Stamp Price, you tried Delta Force, Light Escape from Tarkov. It's like Escape from Tarkov, but better and free. I have played Delta Force. It feels more like Battlefield. Your reaction videos are the worst. Don't watch them. My dog is almost 15. Man, this is hitting hard. Every day is harder and harder for my boy. I know, dude. I know. Man, I'm sorry. Yeah. I got another one. He's right here. He's basically Guinness's brother. He's a little bit older than she is, but he's a mix. He's German Shepherd Husky mix, and he is so stubborn. He has struggles to get up, and he could barely walk around. But he's right behind her. He's not far behind. Matt Price, $5 says, ready for Nintendo quiz? For another $10, name 2 Italian plumber brothers and their 2 antagonist counterparts. That's an easy one. That's Mario, Luigi, and Wario and Waluigi. Thanks for the $5 super chat, Matt Price. You have to give me a harder one than that. Huh? Yeah. You knew Waluigi? A lot of people might not know Waluigi. They might know Wario, but Waluigi is a little teeny bit more niche, but still pretty well known. Yeah, that was easy. You gotta have to do better than that. Michael, have a good night, man. See ya. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. My dog is part husky and German shepherd too. His name is Riot, but sometimes I call him Goo Bear. This one's Duke Nukem, and he farts all the time. He can't stop farting. He's been farting since the day we got him. And it was so bad, and they were like, he needs to have this salmon and rice diet thing. It was really expensive, and we were broke, couldn't afford it. So we would just get him the cheap food, and he just kept farting anyways. So changing the food didn't fix anything. Then when we started doing better, then we got him on better food again. Still farting. Benny, $2 super chat says, trying to send a doggo chat in YouTube is saying no. Oh no. That's a bummer. Greetings from the Netherlands. What's up, man? I'm going to be kind of in your neck of the woods here soon. I am going to Europe on the 3rd of next month. For like 10 days. England, Scotland, Ireland. But I think we were going to go Amsterdam and the surrounding areas over there, but maybe that's going to be later on this year. I think that's going to be in like July or something. All right, ladies and gentlemen, scream ham for Dono. I could stay here all day. Dude. At some point, I gotta get off. I have some more duties I gotta take care of, content wise. I gotta make some shorts. Gotta see what my guys are doing that are working for me. $10 super chat from Matt Price's round 2 for $20, dude. All right, I'll play for $20. Name the original crew members of Star Fox from the game Star Fox 64. Well, they are also in the Super Nintendo Star Fox. And that's going to, of course, be, there's Peppy, right? Oh, man, I forgot these. Falco was one. Peppy. There's a frog. There's Falco, the Falcon. There was the donkey. Do a barrel roll. What was his name? I'm gonna lose this one. I'm gonna have to cheat and look it up. Yeah. I can't accurately say everyone. I lost on that one. He got me. He stepped it up. That one was definitely harder. I should know. Peppy, Falco, there's Star Fox, and then I can't remember the donkey. Or he flew with Star Fox's dad. There was the old guy in the group that's now with the new group of young bucks, and he's there taking care of them. Well, who's the last guy? I lost fair and square. I need to know the last guy. I think it starts with an E. Peppy. $5 super chat from Benny says, I've dealt with USMC experience and deaf dogs, smartest dogs ever. I also rescue housed a number of fight dogs. I swear they're a reflection of your being. German Shepherds are pretty smart. Mine was okay smart. I gotta say, I have a wolf dog. And that is that's like the smartest. Slippy Toad. Slippy Toad. Who was the donkey? And thanks. Yeah, appreciate you, man. That was fun. Thank you for the $2 super chat in the game. I have to look it up. Oh, it was Peppy. Oh, I was right. I was thinking Peppy was the frog. Slippy. Okay, that's where I got it wrong. Damn, I was so close. All right. Hey, with that, guys, I'm getting out of here. I'm in the stream. I have some other stuff I got to do. I'd love to stay and hang out longer, but I got more things I got to do. I got a lot of work to do, dude. I got to make some shorts and stuff. You know, I'm not out of work yet. But I appreciate you guys. I might be back playing games on Twitch. If you guys want to go over to Twitch, I have that pinned at the bottom of the chat. I'll give you a link to it here. I might just go live and just do like a chill stream on Twitch and playing some games if I can get all my work done fast enough. It depends. All right. So here's my Twitch. I also have a gaming channel on YouTube. Might stream on that. Not sure. But for now, I have to stop the stream and go do some other things. Get some shorts made. But appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Benji says, watch the videos. Which ones are we watching? Send them to me on like Twitter or Discord. All right. See you guys. Appreciate you. Trump is live. I'll be live again. He's probably going to be live again on Monday. I don't think he's going to do much on the weekend. All right. See you guys.